comes Bryan down the sideline. It's a pick six. It's a pick six. The first touch of a ball by a Cowboys quarterback this year.
It's a Cowboys victory party here in the Miller Lite Field Club. Welcome into the official postgame show of America's team. Cowboys win 44-22 over the Commanders. Bang, back in the second spot in the NFC East, back to 500, 3-1, and feeling good after what was as dominant a victory as they've had all season.
Yeah, did a really nice job defensively. Last week you had issues getting off the field. Didn't do a very good job of controlling the running game. You were kind of worried about the Commanders coming in here and trying to establish the run after what happened last week against Carolina. All around, you'd have to say, 8 opportunities, they got them off the field in this football game. So great job by the defense. Unfortunately, right before the half, that was kind of a bad situation. You don't want to give that up, but for Dallas to get the ball back and then come back and answer that was, I think, a great momentum builder going into the second half. And so tip of the cap to the much maligned defense for doing a good job of getting after the Commanders today.
Absolutely, man. We thought it was going to be a score-for-score situation, who has the ball last, but the Cowboys defense comes out, gets a bunch of stops in that first half.
8 of them, I believe. Well, yeah, you're talking about the first half. Yeah, I was just looking, okay, how many times can you affect them with, get them to punt? You had a couple of turnovers mixed up in there, too. A couple of on downs. You had the pick six. The defense did a much better job. No Diggs in the lineup today. Didn't see any busts or anything like that.
Addition by subtraction?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, though, hey, maybe no communication issues or anything like that. But here we are with a nice victory.
No question about it. 877-881-1053, the official postgame show of the Dallas Cowboys, brought to you by Pepsi, made for Cowboys watching. And, yeah, man, I mean, there was so much to like about the game today. The way that offense took the ball right before halftime. They were getting chunk plays throughout. Welcome back, CeeDee Lamb. One play, 11-second drive, 74-yard touchdown. You have George Pickens making big plays down the sideline. Like, this dude is freaking unbelievable with his ability to catch the ball. And credit to Dak, who's putting the ball just in pinpoint accuracy spots. But George Pickens on the sideline is incredible, making big-time plays, and then also had the pass interference call in the end zone to get you in so that you could punch it in there early in the game. But the offense early and often was rocking and rolling.
Yeah, Dallas, during the week we kind of talked about how much, using the word maligned again, but the offense opening drive of the game, 32nd in the league when it came to, scoring and driving the football there. And you get the huge pass interference penalty for 37 yards. That was half of what you needed right there. But great job by Schottenheimer, by Dak. We've seen Pickens continues to get work after the last 3 games. He's been outstanding, as you mentioned. Nice to see Lamb in there. Nice to see Turpin in there. And then with Williams' ability to run the football, though, looking forward to seeing that film later on this evening, early tomorrow morning, and watching how Dallas was able to we talked about running the ball on the edge. Man, there were some good inside runs. That just tells you a little bit that Booker and Hoffman and Smith were able to do some good things inside as well.
Yeah, no question. Getting Tyler Booker back was big. Tyler Smith maybe feeling a little bit better with the knee situation that he has been dealing with over the last few weeks. But Cowboys run the ball extremely well. Javonte Williams, he had the big 33-yard run right there to set you up for the Ferguson touchdown going into halftime.
2 out of the last 3 weeks, he's had a big run right before half to get you into
the Jets game.
Against the Jets game, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he goes 19 carries, $116, over 6 yards per carry. The 33-yard run was his long of the day, but he gets a touchdown as well. Dak Prescott scrambled a couple of times, and Jaden Blue, 7 carries, 29 yards, over 4 yards per carry. Had a nice one early in the game, getting outside. Unfortunately, that one got called back from a Tolbert penalty. They had a couple of those where they spill the ball outside, get to the edge. Williams had one, Blue had one, but you had some holding penalties, Lamb, Tolbert, call it back. I mean, that was really the big thing. You mentioned it coming in the Zebra Report. This crew was ready to throw some flags, and boy, did they do that.
Yeah, Alex Kemp's crew call a very, very tight game. We were talking about, remember the pass face masking penalties. They've had one a game, and Dak, Dak got that one.
Helmet off.
Ripped his helmet off right there in the pocket. But yeah, Alex Kemp's crew, they're going to call a very tight game, and but they're kind of a very balanced crew coming into the game. There were 88 calls, 44 against the homes and 44 against the aways, and so that they'll throw their share of flags.
Yeah, you had plenty on both sides, but the Cowboys were absolutely dominant. It is the official postgame show of the Dallas Cowboys. Want to use what the pros use? Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit getjackblack.com today. We'll be taking your calls at 877-881-1053. Of course, we'll be hearing from the players and Shoddy all throughout the postgame show here, but the Cowboys get the victory 44-22 over the Commanders. Jaden Daniels doesn't seem to play his best ball when it's time to take on the Cowboys. Did you notice them doing anything differently with some of the stuff? Obviously, you watch the film tomorrow morning, you'll have a better idea of what Eberflus was doing.
Yeah, I think that when in 30 minutes after the game, I'll get the stats as far as, let's see if I can pull it up, but I think you're going to see probably they played more man coverage in this game, especially in the first half of the game. I don't feel like that they were worried about the Commanders' receivers.
Right.
So they were able to walk up on them and play a little bit more tighter coverage that way because, no Terry McLaurin, no Deebo Samuel. It just was much easier for them to have to make those coverage adjustments, playing the man coverage more so than even having to play zone.
Yeah, it worked out beautifully. The Commanders not having the receivers that they're used to having in McLaurin and Deebo Samuel, of course. But big credit to the Cowboys' defense. You had Clowney getting a sack. You had a couple of moments where the pressure was there. Not all game, but I think the big thing is getting your hands on the football, seeing Deron Bland just kind of have him see one go in a little bit, get the pick six. That was a beautiful play by him breaking on the ball. Osa getting the pressure. Mariota having to scramble around, and then boom, he just lofts one over. Bland pick six. Good to see him get that in. And credit to Bland as well, just because he had a couple of really nice tackles today. Early in the game, you have the Commanders going for the 2-point conversion, and he stuffs it out on Jaden Daniels. There was a handful of third down plays where he makes the tackle before the receiver's able to get to that first down marker. So good job from Deron Bland's standpoint making some tackles today. But overall, it was just a beautiful sight to see across the board the way the Cowboys were able to get after it. They continue to put up a ton of points at home. Dallas has scored at least 40 points in all 3 of its home games in 2025. The only other Cowboys team with at least 40 points in their first 3 home games was in 1973.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the way this offense is humming right now, especially on the heels of last week with the run game not being able to get going, today it just felt like whatever they wanted to do, they were going to be in position to do it.
Yeah, they did it really nice. Like I say, I think things really helped the fact that the Commanders were down their skill guys, but far more aggressive approach in this football game, getting after, there were times when Jaden Daniels was having to scramble around, lost contained a little bit, but then he kind of threw the ball away or they didn't have a catch. So, tip of the cap. That's they had to play really good run defense today because that was really what maybe the Commanders were going to have to try and do. Dallas's offense kind of took them out of that run game stuff too. When you look, and then for the Commanders though, the injury to Daniels though, that was a big blow. You don't know how many weeks he might be out now with the hamstring injury. Marcus Mariota, they've already lost a couple of games this season with Daniels being out. Now they're probably going to have to play a couple more until he gets right.
Jake Ferguson has a career-high 6 touchdown receptions in 2025, the most receiving touchdowns by a Cowboys tight end in the first 7 games of a season. He's been absolutely fantastic. That's the thing about this offense right now, especially when you have Lamb back in the mix, and he got going early and often. I love the way that Shoddy approached it and Dak approached it. It was getting Lamb involved, taking shots to Pickens, and making them both feel right at home early in the game, early in the offense. But now Jake Ferguson, the first tight end in NFL history with at least 50 receptions and 6 receiving touchdowns in the first 7 games of a season. So he's a huge
That's why he does a weekly show with us on Thursdays, and I think that's the reason why.
There's something to it, man.
Yeah,
Jake Ferguson.
We brought the best out of his game all of a sudden with our show.
Weekly guest in the G-Bag Nation on Thursdays on the flagship 105.3 The Fan. All right, here's Broaddus with some numbies.
Yeah, I tell you what, we mentioned about how much man, how much zone. Dallas's defense today, 52.5% zone, 47.5% on the man coverage stuff. Quarterbacks for the Commanders were 5 of 15 against man coverage. Dallas had allowed only 57 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, passer rating of 45.7, just about 3.8 yards an attempt with the Cowboys playing that man coverage. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact is they were not scared of the Commanders' wide receivers.
Right, when you're going up against receivers that you don't fear creating great separation and big plays, you feel much better about
walk
doing
up
that.
on them and challenge them. Yep.
So it felt like a no-brainer. I'm glad Eberflus went with that, even without Diggs today. We know Diggs has been a big proponent of playing the man coverage, but today it worked out in a big way, and it looked like they were better in man than they were even in zone, weren't they?
Yeah, it absolutely was really pretty with the way they played some coverage. On the flip side of that, the Commanders went into this game playing a ton of man coverage. They went more zone in this football game, actually almost 57%, man of a 42%. Dak against man, 11 of 14, 97 yards, and the 2 touchdowns.
Look at that. I'm surprised I'm honestly a little bit surprised they did that. But Dak is just so dialed right now. I guess the approach has to be just try to junk it up and break some tendencies that you have defensively, because he's so locked in right now, and these weapons are ridiculous. When you got the run game working, I mean, it is just a beautiful sight to watch this offense right now.
They are doing a great job, and I think the running element to it brings it just helps Dak so much. We talk about the play action stuff, but just the element of the threat of it to be able to make those linebackers have to play and honor the run. They don't get to bail out of there and just drop into coverage. Now they have to worry about defending the run. I thought Shotty did a really nice job of play calling today, kind of keeping the Commanders off balance. Early in that game, they felt like that they could take some shots down the field, and make that work. And the Commanders, their corner play today, their safety play wasn't particularly good. And Dak and them,
the 2 guys colliding on that C.D. Lamb 74-yard touchdown was pretty hilarious.
Absolutely.
But what a day to be a play caller when you have your quarterback as dialed as that, the rushing attack's working, you have all these guys to throw the ball to. I'm sure Shotty was just looking at his play sheet feeling like I could click any button right now and this thing's going to work. All right, Cowboys get the victory 44-22 over the Commanders. 877-881-1053. We're taking your calls. It's the Pepsi postgame show, and you're listening to the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. The originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brew.
Vodka is America's original craft vodka. WinStar World Casino and Resort, proud to be the casino of the Dallas Cowboys. Please game responsibly. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys.
First down, Prescott back. Look at this protection. Deep ball to the middle to Lamb. 35 broke away. Left side 20. Walk your dog. Right on in. Welcome back, C.D. Lamb. 74 yards. Touchdown, Cowboys.
And how about that? That C.D. Lamb 74-yard touchdown reception was the second longest catch of his career. It's a victory party here on your Cowboys postgame show, live in the Miller Lite Field Club, and it's brought to you by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. Let's go ahead and get to the phone lines. We want to hear from you at 877-881-1053. We start with my guy, Pappy, a.k.a. Timmy, a.k.a. Rat Tim in Carthage. Welcome into the postgame show, brother.
I'm doing great, man. I know that you probably made 3 or 4 trips to that macaroni and cheese, Eric.
You know it.
But but I'm going to tell you something. I am so happy. I feel like for the first time this season, Bryan, I feel like we're back in the hunt. We have a chance. That's all we need is to have a chance. Sure, we got some defenders that's been put in the blender, and we still got about a 5-man secondary problem that needs to be worked out. But, man, we look so much better today on the ground, stopping the running game and putting pressure on the quarterback. Hey, I guarantee you, Eric, I guarantee you Dak's going to do his job day in, day out, and you got to tip your hat to Bryan for the game he called. I even saw a smile on that defensive coordinator. So you guys, I love you. I hope you have a great week this week. I'll be listening.
Cheers, Tim. Thanks for the call, bro. Yeah, Eberflus walking out of the building feeling good for one of the few times this season.
Yeah, I mean, it's, everybody, and this is what you and I were talking about with Tom Rinaldi, was that how Bryan made mention about Matt Eberflus that he'd been there. You know, he has been a coordinator that has been, drug through the mud.
Right.
Because the scheme doesn't work. You can't coach. You don't have the play. All these things kind of play into that. And so, yeah, for Matt to go out to maybe play a little bit out of his comfort level with as much man coverage, to maybe blitz. I mean, they got James home on the blitz where Daniels got hurt.
Huge play.
Yeah, it was a blitz. It was a fumble. They get the ball right there at midfield. So, yeah, there were some things that Matt Eberflus did today that probably were uncomfortable for him, as far as what he wanted to do scheme-wise. They're playing without Diggs. They're trying to their safeties are down. Bell's having to play. Just a great job of his players stepping up and then him kind of putting them in position to make those plays. We always talk about it. It's kind of cliche to say, but in this case, defensively, though, when you don't have players out of position like we've seen the last several weeks. Now, I will say this. I'm interested, though, in the Zach Ertz touchdown, the first one that they had.
Yes.
Because it looked like to me we got that red zone. Whoa, what are we doing down there, bit?
Definitely a miscommunication down there.
There's something. So I'm sitting there thinking, please don't let this game be that. But other than that one, it seemed that the Cowboys were really, really onto the screws of making things happen defensively.
877-881-1053. Cowboys win 44-22 over the Commanders. Get back to 500. We go live to Dallas and welcome in our buddy Francois. Francois, welcome into the Cowboys postgame show.
Hey, appreciate it. Long time caller. It's just been a challenge to get into you guys. And Bryan, I've got a couple of questions for you and a comment. One is, I think the reason that they played so well today was because their run fits were better and
Yes.
their defensive line played a lot better
Yes.
against the run. So it forced Washington to have to throw the ball. And anytime, as we know, when you stop the running game and you make them one-dimensional, then it makes it easier. But to your point earlier, they were missing 3 of their starting receivers. They won't get that in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah,
So I'm
absolutely.
not convinced yet.
Yep.
But I'll give him credit and Flus a little credit, for changing things. And obviously, as a defensive coordinator, you can't just coach one thing. You got to be able to coach man. You got to be able to coach cover 4. You got to be able to coach halves. You got to play man under sometimes. So Flus he's got to make certain that he's coaching more than one thing. Now, here's the question, because I don't even want to talk about the offense. We know what they're doing. You remember Carnell Lake, right?
I do. Old Pittsburgh Steeler, yeah.
Okay. Right. Him and Rod Woodson both made the Pro Bowl as corners, and then later in their career they moved to the safety. And here's why I say that. Is because you're an NFL scout, longtime scout, and I want to know, do you think Siobhan Revelle, once he's 150%, could they convert him to a free safety because of his length? He's twitchy, he's rangy, because in essence, when you look at the Cowboys secondary and you look down the roster, they don't have any pure free safeties. Yeah. And that's what's missing is a free, a Mike, and a defensive end that commands a double team so it can free up the other young guys so they can constantly be in one-on-one matchups. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you. I tell you what, I talked about even playing Diggs at free safety, just if you're playing a rangy guy.
Right.
A ball-hawking kind of a guy. So I think the thing with Revelle, I watched him play at East Carolina and play corner and play as a man-cover corner. But he does play some zone. But you mentioned how twitchy and long he is. I tell you what, I think he will be one of the best corners you have once he gets healthy. He's just got such a nose for the ball, his length, his range. I think I'm going to play him at corner first and see what I got. I think I got a really, really good player if I do that.
Yeah. I mean, usually, a last-ditch effort to maybe save a guy's career or extend a guy's career later on.
Yep.
When he maybe loses a step at the cornerback position. But it's a fair thought because right now when it comes to the Cowboys, I mean, there's really no bad suggestions in terms of how to get this defense moving the right way. Today was definitely a step in the right direction, but still plenty of things to clean up. And as Francois mentioned, I mean, you're not going to be showing up with 3 starting receivers down week in, week out. So plenty more adjustments are going to have to be made. Yeah. Consistency is going to have to be there. And who knows what they do at the deadline because if they keep winning football games, obviously you're going to want to inject a little bit more talent into this defense, no question. But today was a nice step.
Step in the right direction, though, as far as knowing you had a compromised offense and taking advantage of that with the way you played. I'm so happy that Flus challenged these commander receivers with his coverage. And listen, Dallas was kind of banged up and mentioned it safety as well. That was a little bit of a problem today.
All right, 877-881-1053. Let's welcome in our guy, Big Jim in Round Rock. Jim, you're on the Cowboys postgame show. How you doing?
Well, Chief, it's good to have you out on the postgame with Broaddus. Walter, we miss you, but Chief, you always did a good job. Broaddus, y'all did good work this week getting us prepared.
Thank you.
Your previous caller pointed out the run fits. I want to say we've all been piling on Kenny Murray. Kenny actually looked like he knew what he was supposed to do out there today. I saw a couple times when he was getting James in the right place. Mm-hmm. And Bryan, I had me a little notebook and a pencil, and I wrote that touchdown down at the beginning, and It looked like they just slid Ertz behind James. And I guess if they were going to do what they were supposed to do, he was supposed to be mindful that pass him off or something because they were in the zone. But boy, I thought the same thing. I thought, man, is this going to be one of them days? But no, I was very pleased with the way, and I did. I just watched the linebackers a lot, and they seemed to be getting where they were going, and man, coming downhill, hitting hard, and stopping. Because we like that Krosky Merritt kid, all right. We'd like to have had him on our team.
Sure.
He's drafted right after Maffa.
Right.
So, I was very pleased, and again, it's good. At this point, I ain't getting too excited about nothing. Show me next week. And I tell you one thing, Denver's coming off of a huge win, big comeback. You kind of hope maybe they lost a little gas, there. And maybe we can catch them a little off guard. But Great job, boys. Beat the heck out of after being on a loss after a game on the post-game show. So, good, congratulations. Have fun and eat a lot of good food down there.
I will, Big Jim. Appreciate the call. Yeah, Kenneth Murray. I mean, it's a great point. He flashed a handful of times, open field, making tackles.
Yeah.
Looked like he played a pretty good game.
Yeah. I would say, the thing with, last week they were jumping around gaps. They were supposedly playing A gap. They get knocked to B gap, knocked to C gap sometimes. But you saw the example of James. James in coverage, not as good as James the blitzer.
Yes.
And that's what you saw at Florida. You saw a guy that played fast, played downhill. You bring him on the blitz. He's got a feel for how to be disruptive in the pocket. But you ask him to drop and be aware and have to cover, that's a whole different game for him right there. That's as good as an example as you're going to get of coverage linebacker and, hey, what we should be doing with a guy is attacking him down the hill.
Yeah, it's a novel concept. Play to your players' strengths.
Yeah.
They did that today defensively, and then kudos to the Cowboys. They get that turnover, and then, boom, a couple Javonte Williams runs, and then they cap it off with another Ferguson touchdown and extend the lead. At that point, they go up in a pretty significant manner. It was 34-15 after that, so that was a huge play coming out of the half, exactly what you wanted to see right there.
Right.
And at that point, it was pretty much all she wrote. All right, 877-881-1053. Let's go live to Mesquite. Welcome in Harrison. Harrison, Cowboys win. Welcome to the postgame show.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Big game, big win. You can tell that Shotty put his hands on the defense. They blitzed on first and second down instead of normal blitzing down, which is third down. Eberflus changed the whole thing. We went man. I've been calling in the shows all week since the beginning of the season. Hey, let's go man to man. And they finally did, and it paid off. The cornerbacks were a lot closer in reach of the wide receivers were they able to make plays and tackles on the ball. I want to amend, like I said, Eberflus for making changes, coming out of that zone look. And linebackers did play exceptionally well, but main thing I say, Shorty put his hands on the defense. They played physical. The defensive line, the tackles played better. They wasn't getting pushed around or Debo, so to speak. The interior just played solid the whole game. And when Willie Billy get back, I'll let him know the man-to-man, it paid off today. And take the same defensive game plan to Denver. If they do that, we'll be victorious. Thank you.
Thank you, Harrison. Appreciate the call, man. Absolutely. Yeah, the Cowboys defense stepped up in a way that we haven't really seen since, I guess, week 1 versus Philadelphia for the most part. So that was an encouraging thing. And yeah, Shotty had talked about the physicality all week. They really got pushed around last week against Carolina. And what was your mantra coming into the game? It was stand up or get the hell out.
Yeah, stand up or get the hell out. Yeah, that was it today. And
they stood the hell up.
They stood up today. They really, really did.
All right, let's go to Garland. Welcome in our guy Polo. Polo, you're on the postgame show, man. How you doing?
What's going on, fellas? Y'all know I haven't called about the Cowboys in 2 years, man. But I'm not one of these little fluky fans that I've been listening to. Callers are talking about the defense. The defense ain't do squat. They still ain't do nothing. Because like the dude Francois said, I was going to say the same thing. Debo Samuel and McLaurin would have killed this secondary. I'm telling you, they would have killed this secondary. Debo Samuel would have ran over Bryan with his little $22 million contract and just been looking stupid. Y'all better be glad he didn't play today. Dak Prescott, I've been real negative of you for the last couple of years. But, dude, you actually been playing like an MVP. I'm not going to say it, but you've been playing at a good level. And only thing about that, I seen today that you were going to throw 2 or 3 interceptions. You're lucky the defensive lineman and that one safety, a quarterback, didn't pick you off that. I would slap you upside the head. Now, another thing, this Broaddus, you talk about Shamar, I can't think his name, old boy from Florida linebacker, James.
Yep.
Yeah.
You talking about he can't do this, he can't do that. If he's such a good coach him up to do it, then. Go stop somebody tight end. Yeah, he did the blitz, he did out there in Florida, but I want to see you get out that line, boy. He gonna get somebody tight end, knock him upside the head. Broaddus, I'm gonna go. We'll see LSU next year. Bye, Broaddus. Bye.
See you later, Polo. Thanks for the call. Any thoughts on that one?
All good.
I mean, listen, Shamar James, a late-round pick for a reason. It's not like this is a five-tool first-round linebacker that can do a bunch of different things. Overall, I get his point about the defense. This is no time to be complacent. We're celebrating right now. They did a nice job today.
Sure.
But there's
where you really have to give them the credit, where Polo's talking about the pass game and all that stuff like that. But what you got to give them credit for was, they were compromised. They probably weren't going to throw the ball particularly well. I was worried about them running the football, and they didn't run the football today.
Absolutely.
So if you want to talk about, Debo and would have done this and done that, sure, great. But the one thing, you play who you play and who was on the field, and the Commanders came into this game as being one of the best run offenses in the league. And, Dallas's offense did a great job of running them out of some of that stuff, but the Dallas defense held their own against a team that wanted to come in here and probably run the football and couldn't do it.
Absolutely.
Or couldn't do it with success, put it that way.
Yeah, when you have the offense humming the way it was.
Focus on that. Don't focus on who was out for – focus on who's out for the Commanders. Focus on Dallas got beat up last week, and Carolina won that game by running the football and being physical. And that's I guarantee you that's the game plan that Cliff Kingsbury wanted to come in and do, and Dallas just didn't allow that defensively.
Cowboys get the victory, 44-22 over the Commanders. We continue to take your calls, 877-881-1053. Derek in Brooklyn, I see you're there. We'll keep you on hold. We'll get back to you on the other side. We'll hear from Javonte Williams, Jake Ferguson, Shoddy, Dak, the whole nine. That's all coming up next. Dallas Cowboys football will continue in a moment.
Merritt is the back behind Jaden Daniels. Snap is back, looking left, pump, hit, fumble, sack, strip, fumble. Cowboys are on it. At the 45-yard line. Clowney's on the ball, and we'll see who got the sack.
That was Shamar James with a big-time sack, and Brad Sham with the call. Cowboys get the victory over the Commanders, 44-22. It's a post-game victory party here on the post-game show, 877-881-1053. We will hear from head coach Brian Schottenheimer here in just a few minutes. We have Jake Ferguson, Javonte Williams, and, of course, Dak Prescott. But right now, we have the voice of the Cowboys, the legendary Brad Sham, making his way down into the post-game party. He's got some bubbly spilled up on him. He's been celebrating already. Brad,
water.
good to see you.
It's water for crying out loud.
Oh, that's just water. My bad.
Settle down.
I thought it was a little bubbly. Brad, that was fun, man.
Yeah. Well, look, they can all be fun. They mostly all been fun. It's just the ending was better today.
No question.
I mean, it's like a real football team. They got 2 turnovers, got 4 sacks, made some stops, held a running back who was averaging 5.7 to whatever. And I said before I had my statistician, Bob Thomas, look up. I was trying to figure out how many times do they need to score based on how the defense has been.
Right.
Much to my surprise, they came into the game averaging 5.3 offensive scores per game. That's touchdowns and field goals. Indianapolis was number 1. They're number 2 in the league. So, given the way the defense has been playing, I said they got to score 6 times.
Yeah.
And 4 of them have got to be touchdowns.
Yeah.
Well, the offense scored 7 times today. And 4 of them were touchdowns, 2 to Ferguson, 2
you
to...
got a defensive touchdown today, too.
Yeah, but that's bonus. You can't count on that.
Yeah, right.
If you score, so if 4 times 7 is 28, and 9 is 37. How about 34? Can you live with 34? So that would be 4 touchdowns and 2 field goals every game. It's asking a lot. But until we know that this is the way the defense can play and is going to play, I think that's what they have to do.
2 things. Coming into this football game, we felt like that they needed to stop the Washington rushing attack.
And they did.
Check.
Krosky Merritt, 2.5 yards per carry.
Outstanding. More impressed by that, I wonder he played almost 50% man coverage today. And I wonder if he did that because of the compromised Commanders receivers.
Maybe. I mean, it's unknowable, and because as you know, and we talk about it all the time, you have to play the game that's in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the game that was in front of them today was without Samuel and McLaurin. Now, I'll say this, watching their tape last week and having seen the Cowboy cornerbacks all year, I did not think that the big wide receiver who got hurt,
Deebo Samuel.
No.
McLaurin?
Yeah.
No. The one who got hurt. His brother plays for the...
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey.
Okay, yes.
McCaffrey.
Why is he returning kicks, by the way?
Well, because he's good at it.
I know, but you're down receivers
I know,
begin with.
But McCaffrey, Lane, and Moore, if you watch the tape, I didn't see anybody. I thought, the Cowboys will blank those guys.
Right.
No, those guys can make plays. Moore did make some plays.
Right.
So I do think that what you're saying, Brian, is very possibly correct. You can take more chances. I don't know how many times he blitzed, but it was way more than usual. And,
the fact he sent James on that one that ended up in the sack and the fumble and all that, I think that plays to his strengths. And you watch him at Florida, and I was telling Eric, you watch him at Florida, it's not, let's cover Zach Ertz down on the goal line.
No, right.
It's let's rush and be disruptive in the pocket.
And you know what? Maybe next year he won't lose track of Ertz down on the goal line. But, okay, whatever.
No, I love the kid.
I
think he's
Murray
getting better every week.
He is.
Yeah.
I thought Murray played well.
Yeah.
I thought easily Clowney played his best game,
Right.
easily. So that's the game that was in front of them today. And next week will be something different. But I think the encouraging thing is, Eric, that you know you can do it. You know that if you mix the coverages. Somebody asked him, I think it was Todd Archer, I think, asked Eberflus on Thursday, when you talk about, doing anything possible, does that include kind of sometimes playing the way that you really are not comfortable playing? And the answer, he gave a political answer, but the answer's got to be, it damn well better be.
Right.
Because this isn't working. And you can't change all the players, and you can't change the entire scheme, but the scheme itself is not unworkable or unusable. But the basic tenet of coaching is to utilize your players in the best way for them to have success. I think, based on my years of coaching, just repeating everything Broaddus has taught me over the years, I think it's fairly evident that for most of the first 6 games, they didn't do that. They tried to make the system, they tried to make the players fit the system. And, Eric, I say to people, when is it this or that? If you believe in fast break basketball and your tallest guy is 6'1", you better play half court, because you're not going to get a lot of rebounds in fast breaks.
Absolutely.
So what you want to do is fast break, but if you don't have the players to out-rebound everybody and throw an outlet pass, then you better change what you want to do. If you want to play hit-and-run baseball, and you've got a team full of Vaughn, the first baseman at Toronto, if that's what your whole team, you're not going to play hit and run.
Mm-hmm.
Then you better find a way to work or walk and hit a 3-run home until you get the guys you want. That's coaching. Bryan, we saw Chan Gailey fall into that trap.
We sure did.
He did not fit the system to the players. He tried to fit the players to the system, and he was in the playoffs. Both years. But I just think it's basic coaching, and I thought they did a much better job of that today. By the way, Schottenheimer's done it all year.
Yes. I mean, and today it was on full display. I mean, that offense, my gosh, especially when you see the Commanders drive the ball down before halftime and then quick turnaround. The drive starts with a sack. And you're almost thinking, oh, no, like that's the one thing that you really can't have happen. And then it's Pickens' big play, Javonte Williams' big play, Ferguson touchdown. You have an 11-second drive with C.D. Lamb and the Bobski. It was just beautiful.
I asked Babe at halftime, we were off the air. I said, you played 8 years. Do you remember, if I asked you what was the best throw you ever made in 8 years? He said, well, there weren't that many of them. But he remembered a game when he was starting in San Diego. They're playing the Chiefs in Kansas City. He had to scramble. He made a really good throw to Anthony Miller, who caught it and ran for a touchdown. Chargers win the game. And I asked him that because I think if someday I ask Dak Prescott, what's the best throw you ever made? That throw to Pickens before halftime, that might be the answer. I don't know how you can throw it better than that.
I know. I mean, that Dak to Pickens connection right now down the sideline. I mean, it's incredible ball placement, and then it's incredible contortion and body control on behalf of Pickens.
Yeah, and it's not just on the sideline, though. Yeah. I mean, Pickens, all that contortion and gymnastics, we've seen him do it in the middle of the field,
That's
too.
a great point.
He is rare ability to track the football.
Yes, he does.
He does.
Yes,
his ability to know exactly where to put his hands as he's tracking the ball is
and that
unmatched.
Throw, he didn't have to extend his arms.
No.
He didn't have to reach. He just held his hands
throw.
out. 44 yards over his shoulder, and he caught it waist high. How do you even do that?
Looking back into that sun, too.
Yes.
That little bit of that sun strip
How do you
right
even
there,
do that? What a throw that was.
Yeah.
No question. The way Dak's playing right now, the entire offense, it's nice to see all the ingredients at play. I just imagine Schottenheimer's looking at his call sheet feeling like, man, I could dial up whatever I want right now.
Yeah, and that's good. I mean, he's got versatility, and you've got other receivers who can do things. You've got a tight end who can do things. You've got, a running back who's pretty good.
Yeah, the running game, I think, has helped overall.
Yeah, no question.
And this offensive line, we'll look at this later on tonight or tomorrow morning. And you'll see Booker and Steele and those guys. I was happy to see Blue have a couple of opportunities.
Tyler Smith, I think, had some very big plays.
Yeah, I think they did a really nice job up front.
No question about it. Brad Sham, you're the man. We appreciate the time.
Good to see you. How did you get to draw triple duty?
A little bronchitis.
It was a question. He asked you if it was a must-win, and we had to make up for it. You know?
Yeah. He lost. What's Wolchek's weak excuse? Bronchitis.
Bronchitis. Yeah, I believe that's what got him. These kids, man, they come home from daycare.
So let me just say this. Let it be noted, he wasn't here for this game.
Yeah.
This result, this production. I mean, I think that when you go back and you look at the film and you say, what did we do that was better and different? Well, maybe it was Eric was on the whole day.
Hey, and let me tell you another thing.
Pre-game adjustments,
When I tell you Alex Kemp's going to throw some flags, listen to me.
I listened right away.
Yeah, listen.
Did I not bring it up? And I said, okay, Broaddus warned us.
Yep.
And holy cow, it's like the United Nations. There's flags everywhere.
There is.
The legendary Brad Sham, ladies and gentlemen.
Night,
appreciate
boys.
the time, Brad. There he goes. All right, 877-881-1053. Let's go ahead and get back to the phone lines for a moment, and then we'll get to Shoddy at the podium. But I know Derek in Brooklyn's been waiting for a while, so let's go live to Brooklyn. Welcome in our guy, Derek. Derek, welcome into the postgame show, brother. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, fellas? I just wanted to say, if you've been watching Dak Prescott play football throughout his career and you still think he's a bad quarterback, I don't know how to help you.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
Amen.
That's it.
All right, very good. Derek, short and sweet. I appreciate it, man. He waited about 35 minutes to just let the world know that Dak Prescott is, in fact, a good quarterback. And there's no question that Dak Prescott right now playing at the height of his powers. There's something with whatever shot he's got cooked up for him in this offense. Obviously, he's got great supporting cast when it comes to the weaponry, the offensive line right now, the rushing attack. Everything with this offense is clicking, but there's no question it starts with Dak, and he is playing at an all-time high level right now.
Seeing the field well, making sure that he's getting the ball to where he's getting his checks, his blocking, getting everything squared up. Look at this guy.
Oh, my
Look at this guy.
Oh, my gosh.
Look at this guy, man. Good to see you, brother.
We got Mr. Des Bryant, 88, in the building. What's good?
Look at this guy.
Hey, we got to get you a headset, Des.
Right here.
We got to get you a headset, Des.
Here we go.
Oh, now the party's getting cranked up.
Look at this guy.
Here we go on the Pepsi postgame show with his cowboy hat on, repping the 88. As always, Des Bryant, ladies and gentlemen.
How about you?
How you guys doing, man?
How much you win on this game today? I know you probably loaded up on it.
You know what?
You've been on fire.
I did a Cowboys Commanders parlay.
Oh, sure you did.
Ooh.
Sure you did.
All of my Cowboy picks hit. So I had Javonte scoring the touchdown. I had Ferguson scoring the touchdown.
You're amazing.
I had CD going over 50. I had George going over 50. CD for 5 catches.
Yeah.
George for 3 catches. The only ones that didn't hit was the bullshit Commanders, man.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's right.
And that's because Jaden got hurt.
Yeah.
He was 40 yards away from 200 passing yards.
Yeah, he was.
That's all you needed.
And I took Cowboys money line.
Yeah.
There you go.
I tell you, you're such a fun follow on Twitter to learn all that stuff,
I'm
man.
just saying, man.
You're doing a great job.
You know what it is for me, it's a matchup thing.
Yeah.
I pay attention to the matchup.
That's right. There you go.
I don't get caught up into the hype of things.
Right.
You know, like, you just can't do that.
Right. Yeah. You're a football guy. You know what you're doing.
There you go.
So can I tell your picks? I mean, are you putting these down?
Man.
I mean, let's go, dude.
Absolutely.
I need to.
Oh no, he's got them all on that. You follow him, he'll tell you where this is, and it's great.
1,000%. And look, I got 20 of the dopest cappers that love it and know the game. I vetted them out myself.
There you go.
Oh wow. Okay, buttoned up. Des Bryant with us here on the Pepsi Post Game Show. Okay, so I mean, how about this Cowboys offense right now?
I mean, damn. Let's talk about Dak Prescott.
Let's do it.
There you go.
Dak Prescott is awesome. I went in the back and I talked to Dak and I told Dak, you know, hey, look, man, I got to be transparent, man. Like, and no shot at Eberflus.
No.
I love the Cowboys.
You do.
But by far, this is the weakest defense Dak has ever played with.
Mm-hmm.
And to see Dak show up the way he's showing up, playing at a superior level, MVP level, by the way.
Facts.
He is my MVP, by the way. Says a lot. You know, but what I would wish, what I want is, come on, Jerry, let's go get a couple of players that can help out. All we need is a decent defense. And if we get a decent defense, hey, man, we can make a run.
No question.
You got a position in mind you want to trade for? You want to trade for safety?
I love to see a safety.
Okay.
We keep Donovan Wilson because I like his fire, I like his passion.
Yeah.
But we still need another safety.
Yeah.
And I think we need an end. We need some pressure. We need to get some pressure.
Right.
Okay, you're speaking my language right now. I mean,
and maybe a linebacker.
I was thinking the linebackers. What I was
maybe one at every level. I think we could use that, right?
1,000%.
So are you in Jerry's ear? Are you letting him know? You shooting off some texts? You saying, Jerry, what are we doing?
Well, I was just, I talked to Jerry several times, and I was just telling him, like
he loves you, man.
Yeah, I love Jerry. I used to tell people all the time it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, it is. It's love-hate.
It's business. Love-hate. But I love Jerry because I learned a lot from Jerry.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Jerry is not Jerry without Jerry, without him being who he is.
Yeah.
And that's where the love comes from.
Yeah.
If that's my inspiration.
Yeah.
And I ain't afraid to say that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thankful he gave me my opportunity. It's no Dez Brown without Jerry or the Dallas Cowboys. Thankful about that. But but as far as that defense, we need a couple pieces.
How about all these wide receivers?
I know.
Oh my God.
Pickens. All you needed to do was get him away from Pittsburgh, right?
That was it.
4 routes and a quarterback. That's all he did in Pittsburgh. Now he comes here and just.
I was just talking to Nick Eatman.
Yeah.
About George Pickens.
Yeah.
And like I said, I got to be transparent.
Yeah. You always were.
Let's get George now. Let's wrap him up now.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, why not?
Yeah.
He loved being here.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I think he loved it. Would you agree?
Yo, for sure.
Why
would you not? I mean, he's eating right now.
Yeah. And I would tell George straight up, George, I guarantee you, brother, it won't be like this nowhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It won't be like this nowhere else.
Yeah.
UNCD, you guys are dynamic. Stay together, grow together, going to the Hall of Fame together. You, Dak, CD, George. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I can see that. Love you guys too.
Got a bunch of Desbians up here in the Miller Lite Field Club as Des Bryant sits down with us here on the postgame show.
Yeah.
What do you think about Shotty?
Man, Shotty, I love Shotty. I'm going to be transparent again. You guys are going to hear me. You're going to hear me say this. Let me say this. It was a roller coaster with me when it came to Shotty because during training camp, I was like, oh, shit, I love it. I love the energy Shotty's bringing.
Right.
But then things start going downhill.
Sure.
So I automatically think, okay, they putting Shotty in a position where he's a scapegoat.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Shotty has taken the reins, and he's the real deal.
Right.
So I'm man enough to say that. I think Shotty's the guy. I think Shotty, keep evaluating it. Hey, fire who you need to fire, bring in who you need to bring in, because you got the recipe, brother. Just believe in it. This is your team. Don't hesitate. Make the moves that you need to make to win ball games because you set the tempo. And I can tell that the guys love you. Dak love you. CD love you. George love you. All of these guys love you. So do what you know what to do.
I could
trust it.
I could see you played in this offense
with
the vertical game and all the crossing and then the inside routes and stuff like
Crazy.
that.
Oh my gosh, I would love
go
to
and
play
get
for
in football.
Shotty.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I would love to have seen you play in an offense like this because, like I was saying, with George, you saw him at Pittsburgh and the limits what they were doing with him. And you see Lamb, you even see a little Turpin. You see Turpin.
I like Turp, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like the role that he's filling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, just the versatility of this receiver core, right?
Yep.
I mean, you got a little bit of everything here.
The best I've seen it in Cowboy history.
Ooh.
Best you've seen in Cowboys history. You heard it from Des Bryant right here on the Pepsi postgame show. Des, what a freaking honor, bro. Thank you so much. This is incredible, dude.
Man, thank you guys for having me.
Yep.
Anytime.
Seriously.
Anytime, Des. What
Seriously.
a pleasure, dude.
Thank you guys.
All right, there he goes. The legendary 88, Mr. Des Bryant, sitting down with us here in the Miller Lite Field Club after a Cowboys 44-22 victory over the Commanders. Are you freaking kidding me? I am like having an out-of-body experience right now. That was absolutely legendary. I'm feeling for my guy, Zach Wolchuk, right now, the Wooly Bully, whose favorite player is Des Bryant. What an absolute honor that was. All right, let's keep the party flowing. Are you ready to learn a new game and invest like the pros? Don't worry, even the pros were rookies in crypto once. Blockchain.com, making buying, selling, and trading crypto easy. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. All right, I'm still a little bit shaken up there. I can't even read because Des Bryant just sat down and partied with us here for a little bit. All right, we'll get back to your phone calls at 877-881-1053. We hear from Shoddy, Dak, the whole nine. You're listening to the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Pepsi, Ford, your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. And by DallasCowboys.com. Keep track of the boys with daily podcasts and up-to-the-minute blogging at DallasCowboys.com and on the official Dallas Cowboys app.
I left formation. Span Ford, the fullback. Handoff Williams right up the middle. Walking in behind Tyler Smith. And Schoonmaker. Touchdown, Cowboys. And it is the 6th touchdown rushing for Javonte Williams.
Okay, Javonte Williams gets it done once again, over 100 yards on the ground, punches it in for the touchdown. Des Bryant called it because he told us. He just sat down with us, and I'm still reeling from that. That was such a special moment.
Yeah.
What a time, dude. Yeah. What a time. You can only get that here on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network, live in the Miller Lite Field Club of AT&T Stadium. The victory party continues.
Yeah, thanks to him, but also thanks to Bobby Belt.
Good call. Good call.
Bobby might be driving home right now. Robert, you're a great teammate. Thank you so much for rallying. Des, it was nice to get to visit with him again. He said, hey, anytime. I confirmed his phone number, so we're good. And he said, yeah, that's me.
Good.
So anyway, but thanks to Des. And thanks to Bobby Belt for helping us out.
Cowboys insider Bobby Belt, he knows all, and he just hooked it up in a big way. So shout out to Bobby, shout out to Des Bryant, and shout out to the Dallas Cowboys getting the 44-22 win over the Commanders, back to 500 now and 2-1 in the division, sitting in second place in the NFC East. Let's go ahead and hear from head coach Brian Schottenheimer. He just spoke at the podium.
What do you think the difference was today with your defense?
I mean, they played really hard like they always do. I thought we affected the quarterback the way that we had in New York. I think that's huge. You know, it wasn't just the 4 sacks, it was the hits. I thought our run defense really was great. I mean, Mariota got us for a couple runs, but man, they were swarming the ball. We were sticky in coverage, and that was all great to see.
You had said all week, well, coming in this game, you liked the plan. And I don't know if you were talking more about defense and offense, but did you think playing more man-to-man got the guys a little more comfortable in what they needed to do?
Yeah, I mean, again, look, at the end of the day, you know, this was a team we wanted to play man-to-man against, you know. There was numbers and analytics that said that, you know, that was the right way to play these guys, and each week is different, but I thought we played man-to-man very well today. But, you know, we got to improve our zone coverages as well. But just proud of the guys, man. You know, the defense, they've taken a lot of bullets, and, you know, deservedly so in some regards. And I was just proud of them, man. They played really hard. They tackled well. We knew the turnover was going to happen. You know, we tried to manifest that 2 weeks ago and didn't get it. And there goes Duran doing what Duran does. So,
Clarence Hill, DLLS Cowboys. This is not about Diggs. But when you announced that Diggs was going to be out, it seemed like that's a huge disappointment. Not that you weren't disappointed, but you were in a great mood. And to me, that tell me you felt good about the plan regardless.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, yeah. You guys know me. I mean, I am who I am, and I don't change. Again, I'm disappointed for Trey. You know, he wants to be out there playing with these guys. But again, I like the plan on both sides of the ball. I thought we executed the plan on both sides of the ball. It was great to see guys step up and make plays. I mean, Triquez did a really, really good job for us. You know, again, just a couple guys got banged up and they came back. I mean, that just shows you the toughness of that group, man. K9 and Kenny Clark, and it was great to see Easy get his first sack, and Jadeveon. That was really cool. So just really proud of the group. But it's one game, and it's just a championship opportunity that we seized, and we got another one coming up next week.
Speak to individual changes. You started Shamar. Certainly you had Triquez outside. You put Bad on this side. Just talk about the decisions on those two right there.
Yeah, again, you know, we once everything happened with Trey, it was like Trey is a guy that we really love. You know, we like the way he plays, and you know, Duran gives us a lot of flexibility. I thought Kyer played stickier today. I thought that was great to see. Really good confidence. I thought we were really good on fourth down. Just it seemed like it. I think they got a couple, but you know, complimentary defense today, man. I thought we won first down. You know, I mean, you know, Jaden went to pull a couple things, and we had guys coming across, and we were crashing down a little bit and scraping over the top, and it just was a very, very good plan. But plans are plans, man, and we got to execute, and we did that today.
Yeah.
Tim Kalishaw, Dallas Morning News. You're 3-3-1, and I know you don't know what to make of that tie yet, but with that record, you're second place in the division. With all the teams been through, do you feel positive about that at this point?
Tim, I'm excited about the win today. I'm excited about how we played. I thought the offense, it was great to get the running game going again. I mean, let's talk about Javonte Williams for a second. I mean, just the physical style of runs that he plays with, and it was great to have CD back. We caught them on a quick count. They were trying to get to a tricky 2, and it wasn't even the routes he was supposed to run, but just the way the coverage played out. We call it mailbox. He stuck his hand up, and Dak found him, and then they ran into each other. But you know me, man. I take each game one game at a time because no one cares that we're 3-3-1 right now. We're going to care about where we are in January, and that's what's going to motivate us.
All right, thank you, Brian Schottenheimer. Cowboys win 44-22 over the Commanders. You just cheered for America's team on the field. Now you see them on the reels. Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat. Now at a casino near you. Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Do you have a gambling problem? Please contact 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over. All right, let's get back to the phone lines. 877-881-1053. It's a Cowboys victory party here on the Pepsi Postgame Show. Let's go live to Fort Worth. Welcome in Lorenzo. Lorenzo, welcome into the postgame show, bro.
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing, man?
Great.
I want to say about the defense. I think the defense played good today. I think they played good. I think they played better. But I don't know if we can keep it up. I do got a question. Why y'all think it took Schottenheimer so long to intervene because he's doing it with the offense. He catering to the players and what they have. Why you think it took him so long to convince? I don't know if he could convince the defensive coordinator to cater to our players, but why y'all think it took them so long Brian Schottenheimer so long to intervene for our defense to look the way it looked today? And that's all I have. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Lorenzo. Thanks for the call, man. Broaddus, any thoughts on that? Why? I mean, no, I think it's tough.
I think it's always every week he talks about what they need to do game plan wise. Today you didn't see the massive problems with communication. When you're playing maybe a little bit more man coverage, it's like, okay, that's our guy, and then here's our, here's how it's going to play. You got him, and I just think that the Commanders were really, really compromised. He talked about the metrics to say, play more man coverage against these guys, and they probably felt that because of maybe some of the things. I need to go back and look at this and see what Daniels coming into this game was against man coverage. If you play a lot of zone, is he a guy that's gonna kind of eat you up that way? And I know that these are things that coming in because he talks about the metric stuff and things like that as far as how the different kinds of things that they want to do. And I'm going to get to this thing with Jane Daniels. Okay, here we go. Just to give you an idea coming in. The metrics told you if you play man coverage, he is going to complete 48% of his passes. If you play zone coverage, he's going to complete 69%. The metrics told you that man coverage in this game, he was 19 of 39 coming into the game, averaging about 6.5 yards a throw, and he had 4 touchdowns, no interception. But his completion percentage was at right about 49%. So that's where his zone coverage rating, he was 58 of 84 for 7.4, 3-1 touchdowns to interceptions. But then you also look at, though, his completion percentage was at 69%. So man coverage going into this game, metrics told you that was probably the better way to attack this guy. And then all of a sudden, throw in there, though, he doesn't have 2 of his best receivers. Now it's a checkmate situation for the Dallas defense.
All right, 877-881-1053. Let's sneak in one more call here. Stony Red in Athens. You are on the Cowboys postgame show.
Hello.
Stony Red.
Come on.
Sorry, Stony. Missed your chance, brother. Cowboys win.
Yeah, turn that radio down. Get ready.
Got to be prepared at all times. All right, 877-881-1053. Cowboys get the victory. It is the Pepsi postgame show here live in the Miller Lite Field Club of AT&T Stadium. We'll continue to take your calls and texts, and we'll hear from Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. All that coming up next. Dallas Cowboys football will continue in a moment.
From retirement planning
dives in from the 2. Touchdown, Ferguson.
The guy is a touchdown machine.
Ferguson was a monster today. Cowboys get the victory 44-22 over the Commanders. Welcome into the official postgame show of America's team. We'll hear from Dak Prescott at the podium, but first we pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves along the Dallas Cowboys radio network.
Your turn it on, leave it on. Home of America's team is 105.3 The Fan.
Hello, baby.
KRLD-FM and HD1, Dallas-Fort Worth.
An Odyssey sports station.
877-881-1053. Back to your calls in a moment, but right now, here's Dak Prescott at the podium.
I think we ask you about the offense every week. To get CD back and like you got a run game going, just how good was it to see? This is what we do offensively.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was explosive. It was fun. I mean, you saw the big plays. Saw some drives we put together. Our standard and expectations for ourselves is very high, and so we understand when we've got guys, the playmakers that we have, the offensive line, the love that we have for one another, and you see it in just the way the guys finish plays, guys cover the ball, and defense played very well tonight. When you do that, I think more of our games are going to look like this.
Clarence Hill, DLLS Cowboys. How hard is it to stay patient when I want to throw it to CD, I want to throw it to pick going in?
Yeah, it's not hard, honestly. I'm a very present guy, and I take pride in doing that, and it's something that I practice. And I say that is just by like trying to play it play by play, each and every play, and going through my reads. I know we talked about it earlier in the week when you're saying, y'all are asking, how do you not force it to those guys? And I said, that's on the coaches, right? And we've got multiple playmakers. Those are two dudes, and the other guys are as well. So that's my point is like wherever the ball goes, I'm confident when it leaves my hand that it's going to be called and the play is going to be made after that if that guy has a chance. Now when those two guys get it, it can be very explosive. So I just want to stay on the field. Something else I've mentioned before. I just want to stay on the field. So that's the other part that allows me to stay patient is I'm not trying to put the ball in harm's way and throw an interception and, we're sitting on the sideline. Like I just want to be on the field playing this game.
Just talk about the TD to CD. Shotty called it a mailbox store. Wasn't the right route or whatever else.
For sure.
What happened there?
Yeah, it wasn't the route that we were expecting. It's built for him to kind of run a deep cross right there. So, go through read one, George, and then I see the big window in a sense of, I say a solid window of where if he would have ran that route, he probably would have had a good play, not a touchdown. And so then I kind of just looked to find CD, and, he's got his hands up saying, I'm here. And so at that point, I saw the safety or the corner to the right. They were in there tricky too. And I just put about everything I had on it on a line, understanding that I couldn't just lob it up, that both guys would be able to make a play and just try to give him a chance. He did a good job taking, 2 steps back, I think, catching the ball, and then walked into the end zone. So once again, a play that's not made unless you have confidence in the guy that you're throwing to, and then the guy you're throwing to is smart, understands the defense, understands the look, and understood he could take that opportunity, and we're able to capitalize on it.
Dak Todd Archer with ESPN. Are you more proud of the 13 touchdowns in the last 4 games or the ball security?
I'm not sure. I think they go hand in hand, to be honest with you. I think when you're taking care of the ball, you got more opportunities to score touchdowns, and that's just leading to that. So not counting the touchdowns, so probably the interceptions being truthfully. I couldn't even have told you that's how many it was, but I could tell you that I hadn't thrown an interception. So just trying to be smart with it, but not hesitant or scared or cautious at the same time, right? Taking my chances. I've got tons of confidence in what I can do, where I can put it, and obviously the guys that I'm throwing it to. So that's just a result of that.
Coach Schottenheimer said that Bland pick 6 was probably a turning point in the game. Do you have any flashbacks to 2023 when you saw him going down the sideline?
Yeah, most definitely. I actually told him, and right before, I called the group up, or we called the group up right there in pregame. I told DB, I said, hey, they throw it to you as much as they throw it to anybody, huh? So it was pretty cool to see. Then he gets an interception and a touchdown. So, put that juju in the air and manifested, and he went and did what DB does.
All right, there it is, Dak Prescott at the podium. Cowboys fans, the all-new National Medal of Honor Museum in Arlington brings the stories of America's greatest heroes to life through virtual experiences and exciting interactive technology. Plan your visit today at mohmuseum.org. All right, 877-881-1053. Cowboys get the win, 44-22 over the Commanders. Let's go to line 2, Grandview. We have Tanner in Grandview. Tanner, welcome into the Cowboys postgame show.
What's up, boys? The wife don't know it yet, but I burnt the steaks about a half hour ago. I think today was pretty evident that if we could get an average defense on Sundays, Dak's the MVP front runner. I wanted to ask how much is George Pickens worth, because that dude doesn't need to go anywhere, and what are we going to get in return for Trayvon Diggs' trade package? Thanks, boys.
Heck yeah, great call. Good luck to the wifey on those burnt steaks, Tanner.
Yeah.
But when you get a Cowboys victory, everything tastes a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, plenty to unpack there. Dak for MVP, totally get it if the defense can be respectable. They don't need this to be a dominant defense. They don't need to be the best in the league. They just need to be solid, about middle of the pack. And if they can find a way to do that, today was obviously a step in the right direction. Commanders down plenty of receivers. So, and of course, Jaden Daniels goes out after the Shamar James sack fumble, which was a huge play to start the third quarter. Cowboys go down and punch it in with a Ferguson touchdown there to extend the lead. But yeah, if the Cowboys defense can just be somewhat decent, then you're looking at this being a playoff team. And if you're a playoff team, you have a chance as at quarterback to be an MVP. And Dak is absolutely playing at an MVP level right now.
Pickens is somewhere between a $30 and probably $34 million player right now.
I would say easily.
Yeah. I would say, he is one of those guys that changes a game. His valuation of overthecap.com is roughly at 28.7. I believe that was last week. So just the things that you see, he's probably somewhere between $30 and $34 million a year value. Heck, it's clear. That's the kind of player he is. He gets we were talking with Des Bryant here earlier. That's the kind of player you got from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh held him back with the things they asked him to do. A lot of these players go other places and shine because coaches know how to use that. I'm going to say this. You're going to need Diggs this season. You're going to need him.
You're not ready to punt?
No, you're going to need him. And you're going to need him, and maybe this is one of those situations where, all of a sudden you see how the team played and you're like, I wasn't a part of that. And hopefully there's a little pride in there that.
Yeah, good call.
But I think, I'm willing to put up with a lot. And this is nothing against Elam, but I'm just saying, though, you need Diggs to come back and play. This when soon to be this like the second half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that you can now. If the front office is mad at him and they're going to trade him and all that, well, that's their deal. But I'm just going to say this: I think you're going to need him to play. I really, really do.
Yeah, I mean, you paid him all that money for a reason, and you have guys like Kalen Carson. We'll see about Savone Ravel, but those are all giant question marks.
Yep. There's no if Ravel was playing or like you said, Carson was playing, and you had a feel for how they're playing, then maybe you find a way to move on. I am not convinced that things are going to. I mean, I think that Elam is who he is. I just feel like, though, you're going to play in some games where the level of receiver is going to elevate, and you're going to need a guy that has that ability that Diggs has. If you just want to punt on that, then just be ready when you play against those better receivers to struggle in those games. Now, he's had his struggles, too. Don't think he's completely healthy. Don't think he's completely bought in a lot of ways, but maybe sitting this one out and seeing how the defense played, hopefully that's a little bit of a wake-up call for him.
That'll be storyline number one that we'll be tracking this week.
Yeah.
What the heck happened to Trayvon Diggs with the at-home concussion on, I guess, Thursday night, walking into the Star on Friday morning, and he is unable to go.
They might have, there's a lot of guys and gals that are driving back to their homes and out there in Frisco. They're listening to our show, and they might have already said, enough. And
I would understand that.
And I totally respect that. But me personally, you need his ability. You need it. It hasn't shown, and the buy-in doesn't appear to be there. but you're going to need his ability. And but if you want to move on from that, I would fully understand.
Okay, 877-881-1053. Cowboys win 44-22. Let's welcome in Bob in Austin. Bob, welcome to the Cowboys postgame show.
Yes, sir. We've got a couple of questions for Broaddus.
Sure.
Okay, and they both concern the defensive line, current year and years past. So my first question to you is this. I've noticed, I like our defensive line, but I've noticed there doesn't seem to be enough push from the tackles up the middle, so they rely on the ends, which makes sense. But who's number 13 that comes in from the left side?
Fowler.
I see him so close to getting a quarterback, especially on downs like it's 3rd down and 10, third down and 12, 3rd down and 8, and they can't get him out of the field, and they're almost there to sack the quarterback, but he always overruns the play.
Yeah.
He has so much speed, he overruns it, and the quarterback just steps up. Can't he make a move inside, come outside and turn around? Don't they teach him? I mean, he's so close. They just push him.
Yeah, they don't finish. Yeah, they don't finish. This group as a whole hasn't finished. I thought I saw some good things from Ezraku today. The inside move, we were watching him, one time taking the tackle set wide, and he went inside quick. Remember, I looked at you and said, that was in. You're like, Ezraku right there.
That was pretty.
Yeah, they did not finish at the quarterback like they needed to. I mean, they could have. There could have been probably 3-4 more sacks, Eric, if they would have just finished at the quarterback today, which they didn't do very well.
No, they end up with 4 sacks in the game.
Right. Could have been 8.
Yeah.
I mean, there were times where they were walking those commander blockers back in the pocket, and then Daniels would kind of get, Daniels is a slippery player.
Even Mariota.
They had Mariota a couple of times. Didn't get him. So, yeah, you can't. If you get back there, you've got to finish in the pocket. That's what happened in the Eagles game in week 1. You're back there and you're not finishing in the pocket. Now your quarterback's off running. And we saw it a couple times today.
All right, let's welcome in Joseph in Mesquite. Joseph, you're on the Cowboys postgame show.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Great,
Excellent,
man.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say Dak Prescott, MVP, without a doubt, 100%.
Sure.
That's my number one quarterback. He got to take it this year. George Pickens, we got to re-sign him. Having 2 of the top 5 receivers in the league, arguably, without a doubt, is a must. That's a Super Bowl team offense right there. And defense, I'm happy. We got the dub. It's a divisional team. I'm going to be happy for the week. But can we keep it up? That's the real question. We got to beat Detroit, Kansas City, Denver.
That's every week.
That's what matters.
Can your offense keep it up? That's another question you have to ask yourself.
That is true, but what I've seen,
you were awful against Chicago on both sides of the ball. You can't have Chicago games anymore.
But you have to say the defense was a major factor in that.
No, the offense was just as bad. Your quarterback missed some throws in that game. He missed some whole shot cover 2s that could have maybe switched that game around a little bit.
Correct,
they were awful.
correct.
They were awful as a team. They were awful.
Yes, they were. But we're past that. They're growing. They're getting better.
Okay.
And I think we can beat top teams like that with the way we look. Our defense has to stay consistent. We got to get someone that can stop that running. I don't care.
They
the
did
quarterback
today.
ran way too much today. Yeah, they did.
They stopped the Krosky Merritt from running the ball today, and that's what I worried about the most.
Of course, but there's quarterbacks that can run all around us, and Jaden Daniels did it. We gotta do something. I think so, at least. Can we stay consistent? That's all that matters for me, for this defense, at least.
Offense too, though. Offense as well.
I understand. I think Dak can do it, though.
You lost a game last week. You lost a game last week. You didn't run the ball worth a damn.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying. You got into a game. You got into a game where somebody choked your run.
Yeah. True.
And they beat you that way. So the consistency is going to be about the consistency is going to be. Excuse me just a second. Consistency is going to be about the whole team. Can you do the things offensively? Can you keep this up? But you got choked. I mean, you got choked last week in your run game.
That is true. Yes, but I think defense is what we really have to worry about.
Thanks for the call, Joseph. We appreciate it. Joseph and Mesquite there. Yeah, I mean, for sure, consistency on both sides of the ball. And your offense has slipped up at times. That Bears game is a great example.
Yeah.
Lamb goes down in that game, throws things off a little bit for sure, but they still miss some great opportunities. And then last week, late in that game in Carolina,
had a chance.
Couple drives and you can't do anything with it.
You got the ball at midfield and you couldn't. Yeah, you gave the ball back to them with 6 minutes and you didn't see it again. And you had a chance to maybe win that football game yourself. There needs to be some consistency there.
All right, 877-881-1053. We'll get back to your calls and texts, and then we'll also present you the drive of the game. Cowboys win 44-22 over the Commanders. You're listening to the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
stadium or grilling at home, on game day, Cowboys fans deserve Pepsi. Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. The islands of the Bahamas. It's not one island, it's a lifetime of them. And by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Snap to Prescott. First and goal, looking, standing. Over the middle, into the end zone. Touchdown to the post. Jake Ferguson. How about that?
All right. right. Cowboys win 44-22. Jake Ferguson finds pay dirt once again. He has a touchdown reception in 4 consecutive games, joining Jason Witten as the only 2 tight ends in franchise history with a touchdown catch in 4 straight contests. Witten had a 5-game streak back in 2010, so we'll see if Jake Ferguson can go ahead and tie that up next week versus the Broncos. We do have your drive of the game, and Broaddus, I think drive of the game has to go to that drive right there that was capped off with the Ferguson touchdown right before halftime. Commanders go down, score, and make it a much closer game, 20-15, and then with like 45 seconds to go in the half, you start the drive with a sack. It's kind of like, oh no, what do we do here? And then bang, big play down the left sideline to George Pickens, an all-time throw and catch from Dak to Pickens, and then you have Williams with the 33-yard run to get you to the 2-yard line, and then there goes Jake Ferguson for the touchdown. That was an incredible sequence. Really, when you pair that with the second half, and the defense comes out and you get the Shamar James sack fumble, and then they turn that into another touchdown, that was really the difference in the game right there.
Yeah, you were really concerned about the way with the ease that the Commanders were able to go down the field on you right there. And, and Babe even brought it up. Oh, how much time you're leaving yourself. I mean, when do you score? And the Commanders left you just enough time to be able to take that ball and drive it down the field. But the incredible play, the incredible throw and catch from Dak, the protection, and then to Pickens, and then the run by Williams is just, it's like, 2 out of the last 3 games, he's giving you this run right before half that's put you in position to score. So, yeah, to answer back that quickly, I think says a lot about this team.
Oh, for sure. And this Cowboys offense can score very, very quickly. We've seen it all season long. We saw it today on that drive. You saw it on the 1-play drive, 74-yard touchdown to CeeDee Lamb. So this offense can really get going. And, even if you're not going to score a touchdown there, you're thinking, how far do we really have to go to get into field goal range for Brandon Aubrey? Right? So, there's so many opportunities to score quickly with this Cowboys offense right now. Jake Ferguson spoke after the game, and here is Jake Ferguson.
Jake, it looked like the end zone is your home nowadays. How many games in a row is this for you? You seem like rookie year.
Yeah, it feels good. Feels good getting back. That starts with the O-line, with the protections, and then, always shout out for slinging the thing.
Was there any idea that, okay, we got to exploit Washington a certain way, or did you guys just do your normal game plan?
I think we just trusted our offense, trusted our scheme, and, really just trusted the game plan, and that starts, not on game day. That starts earlier in the week when we're prepping.
And finally, did it help? The offensive line got a couple of guys back, and they got the running game on track.
For sure. Those guys are always hungry. When a guy goes down, you can see it when he's out. He's hungry. And so just getting back, he's going to play.
Nice win. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, CA. Thank you, Jake Ferguson. Today's game between the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys at AT&T Stadium was brought to you by Pepsi, made for Cowboys watching. All right, 877-881-1053. I have a conversation about the Cowboys offense and the potential continuity moving forward, even into next year, but we'll get there here in a moment. Right now, I want to go live to Duncanville and welcome in Eric. Eric, welcome into the Cowboys postgame show, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I want to shout out the Duncanville Panthers and Lone Star Barbers in Duncanville, Texas. Man, the Cowboys did good, man. We got a bunch of dogs on offense. We got Javonte Williams, Ferguson, Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, man. But the defense is kind of leaving me with some question marks right there. So
did a good job today. Did a good job today. Did a really good job today.
Did, but
playing the run, and we were worried about them playing the run, and they did a great job. They got bullied last week. They got beat up, and Krosky Merritt is a quality running back. This is one of the better teams in the National Football League when it comes to running the football. And they didn't do it well today. They sure didn't.
Even without their top 2 receivers, Daniels was still looking good. He had a lot of time in that pocket. I'm concerned about the defensive front that the Cowboys have.
In what way?
They're not getting enough pressure on the quarterback. I know they had
4
sacks today, but they're just not getting there quick enough.
Okay.
Thank you for the call, Eric. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Today was a much better performance for the defense today, but there's still plenty of question marks. There's no doubt about it. Going into Denver next week, you'll still be wondering, can they keep a team from scoring 30 points? But they did a heck of a job today. Of course, Jaden Daniels goes down after the Shamar James sack fumble on the blitz, and they were down plenty of receivers. So it was good to see the Cowboys defense step up, because still going into the game, I was still expecting this thing to be a score for score, who has the ball last kind of game, and they're definitely giving up 30 points. But the defense really only surrendered 20 points today because you had the safety, thanks to Scooney getting absolutely obliterated at the goal line.
4 punts, 2 on downs, a fumble, and a pick six, right?
Yes.
So those are your stops?
Yeah.
And that was, like I say, one of the better statistical offenses in the league. And I know that, again, they were down. We keep saying they were down a couple of wide receivers, but overall it was still the same. They even got Sam Cosmi back. They got their starting guard back, So yeah, Krosky Merritt has averaged 6.8 yards per carry out of 11 personnel. That's second most of 28 running backs with these 20 carries, trailing only Rico Dowdle, who just mauled you last week.
Mm-hmm.
So the last 2 weeks, you got mauled by a guy, and then another guy came in there and didn't do very well or didn't do very much. So I would say that's a little growth for run defense.
Absolutely.
If you ask me.
Yes, yeah. Krosky Merritt averaged 2.5 yards per carry today.
Yeah.
If you told me that in the pregame, I would have told you your dead ball's wrong.
Yeah.
Your numbers are screwed up. Get that calculator back out. All right, 877-881-1053. Let's go live to Steve in Plano. Steve, welcome into the Cowboys postgame show.
Hey guys, thanks for taking the call.
Sure.
Listen, if we don't extend Aubrey tonight, we've lost our minds. We've got to extend this guy. He's such a tool. The defense did great today, I think.
By the way, you got a number on him? You got a number you want to pay him, by the way?
I would say he's worth what's the guy from Kansas City's making, like, what is he, 1.6?
Is this an $8 million a year kicker?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I think he turns the tide.
I like it. All right.
I think he turns the tide. Now, our defense looked good, but you're talking about pressure. They didn't apply little pressure in the first half. Second half, they started doing better and getting some pressure on him. The first half, he was just sitting back there looking around, all he wanted to.
Yeah.
And last thing, Shoddy called a great game today, I think, except for the bonehead call when you're on the 1 yard line, you got the running back 7 yards deep. That was just a bad play, and it changed the tone of the game, and it could have gone south. It didn't. The guys came back and went ahead, but that was I'm just sorry. That was one of the worst calls I've ever seen.
Thanks, Steve. Shoddy made history today in the eyes of Steve in Plano. One of the worst calls he's ever seen, where you're backed up on your own goal line. Is a great punt situation for the Commanders.
Yeah.
You end up getting the safety there on first down. I mean,
scheme issue there, though. When you look at it, though, it was Schoonmaker.
Yeah, Schoonmaker got obliterated.
Yeah, he couldn't get the block there that they needed. They were probably trying to get him to get inside there, and he just could not make that block.
Yeah, I guess, when you go back and watch the tape, you can get a feel for, did they set Scooney up for success?
Yeah.
Was he blocking somebody he probably didn't need to be blocking there?
Sure.
But, yeah, that was definitely an unfortunate situation, and we were kind of holding on to our rear ends at that point. But the Cowboys responded well. I mean, time and time again today, and then they really ran away with it in the second half. Shout out to Deron Bland with the pick six. It was good to see him get his hands on a football for the first time, not just from an interception standpoint. Brad Sham was telling us in the pregame show, hadn't had a PBU all season.
Well, that's going to happen. As much zone coverage as you play, you're playing back. So, drive on the ball. You need to drive on the ball, knock it down. But, man, they're playing like it's 7 yards depth. It doesn't seem like to me that they've been able to. That's a problem. If you play a team that is really, really heavy zone, you're not going to have a lot of people. It's when you play a lot more man.
You're stickier.
And you're able to defend the ball better. When you play at 7 yards, 8 yards, it's a little bit more difficult to get your hands on the ball.
Great call by the 972 here. Worst call I've ever seen was Zeke playing center.
That was pretty poor.
I don't know how it gets
that was a
too
terrible
much
way to
worse
end a game.
than that.
Yep.
That was bad. I'm glad he didn't end his career in a Cowboys uniform on that play.
That was bad.
We got a healthy helping of Zeke last year. Okay, back to the phones. Let's go and welcome in Byron in Crandall. Byron, welcome into the Cowboys postgame show.
Yes, sir. Hey, long-time Tolo, first-time caller. Thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you.
The game was fun to watch. A lot of splash plays by the offense, very explosive, and even some splash plays by the defense. A bit concerned with the defense. They faced a one-dimensional team today, and, yeah, they shut down the run. They did a good job at that.
We've been kicking their ass all year for not doing it.
Yeah, for sure. We have been. And,
we have been really kicking their ass for not playing good run defense around here.
And for 1 out of 6 weeks, they showed up, and that's great, right? But they played an offense that had a quarterback with no receivers, 35-year-old tight end, and they still gave up plays. And there were a lot
you're
of
a hater right now.
No.
You're such a hater.
Please hear me out, brother.
No,
Please.
I am not. I am not. I mean, you're being a hater. We kicked their ass last week for not playing run defense, and you want to say it's because of the wide receivers and a 35-year-old tight end that had a touchdown catch.
No. I was going to say that there was several calls in which the announcer said that there was wide open receivers that were missed by the quarterback.
Yeah.
And they lost their starting quarterback halfway through the game. Mariota came in and didn't know what he was doing, but they won the game. It was fun to watch. It was great to watch. I just don't. Yeah, it's hard to have faith in this team. It's just hard to. But it was a fun game to watch. I think.
Just keep digging in, bro. Just keep digging into that.
Byron, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. Broaddus isn't having a lick of it, though.
Oh, hell no,
I was hearing you out there, Byron. I was trying to see if you had a chance. Broaddus was drop kicking you.
Did all week last week we talked about how poor run defense was?
Oh my gosh,
this team runs the ball better than the team you played last week.
That's true.
And they were down receivers, and what should they have come in here and tried to do? Run the football.
Run all over
Couldn't
you.
run over. Couldn't run. You got to give some people some credit when they actually get it done. I mean, I get it out there. You know, there's people still dug in that Dak sucks. You know that? Still people out there that say, quarterback, well, you know what, they're winning these games because, you know, listen, man, it's rough out there, folks. I get it, but you gotta be able to give people or give this team credit when they actually go out and do something. You know, when they go last week, they were embarrassed playing run defense. This week, I don't think they were embarrassed playing run defense.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. It was a real blessing. I mean, let's see. The Cowboys
got their hands on a ball all year, and when they get a pick six.
Give
them credit for that, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Commanders end up rushing for 136 yards, 4.9 a carry. But when you really break it down, Mariota had 34 yards on 2 carries,
right?
And the game was out of hand at that point.
Sure,
right. So I mean,
give me their starting running back with cross-game. He said he had 2 yards a carry, 3 yards a carry,
2.5 yards a carry, 13 carries, 33 yards. Longest run was 9 yards.
Yeah,
it was McNichols.
McNichols had 2 runs. That one was 19,
and the other one was 8.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, but by and large, no, you did a heck of a job from a run D standpoint, and before the game, we were all totally nervous that Krosky Merritt was just going to have a heyday.
They didn't have the receivers, and you were worried about them coming out and running the football. What did the quarterback have running the ball? Not Mariota, but Daniels.
Daniels, 8 carries, 35 yards. That's an average of 4.4 a carry. He did have 1 touchdown run and a long run of 14 yards.
Okay, so you kind of controlled him overall, wouldn't you say? If he had 35 yards, but one was long carry was 14.
Yeah, you did a nice job on him. I mean, he carried the ball 8 times for 35 yards, and big credit to Deron Bland on that play, on that
2-point play.
2-point play.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels keeps it, and he was there to put the stick on. This was probably Deron Bland's best game of the season, without question.
Absolutely.
Even before he had the pick 6, he was popping up, making big-time tackles right there on the 2-point play. There's a couple of third downs where he made the tackle before the stick. So shout out to Deron Bland for that. But overall, the defense showed up today. Does it mean they'll do it next week? week? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But what they did today was certainly encouraging, and I'm sure Jerry Jones is feeling good about that. Let's hear from the owner and general manager coming up next, and we'll give you the Whataburger What a Play Cowboys victory party here on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network, 44-22 over the Commanders. Dallas Cowboys football will continue in a moment.
Touchdown, Cowboys.
And there it is, your Whataburger, what a play of the game, brought to you by Whataburger, and the post-game show brought to you by the Salvation Army, doing the most good, and that was the second longest reception of CeeDee Lamb's career. That was a fantastic moment, a great welcome back moment for CeeDee Lamb after he's missed the last few weeks due to injury. Lamb, Pickens, Dak Prescott, Ferguson, it was a beautiful thing today, man. I don't know how these defensive coordinators try to wrestle with how to stop this thing, because when it's humming like this, dude, it is a freaking freight train.
The challenge now is for Shoddy to stay on the creativity side of things, and make sure now, because as people, they start to look at, they look at your film and they're like, okay, take this away, take that away. You've got all these weapons, but now the challenge is to make sure that every week you have 2 or 3 more plays added to it. Maybe you steal an idea too, something for Pickens, steal an idea for Turpin, what he was able to do. They threw that, they ran a play with him where they faked the handoff, like the jet, and then Dak went back, and then he ended up throwing it to Turpin on the swing, and remember he made a defender miss in the open field.
Great play.
And then like a 17-yard gain from that. So the challenge for this offensive coaching staff is to come up with plays that for Ferguson, for Pickens, for Lamb, and just try and make sure that they stay ahead of what they need to do to win these games every week offensively.
877-881-1053, the number to call, the number to text here on your Cowboys post-game show. Let's go ahead and see what the owner, the general manager, Jerry Jones, has to say about this one.
Well, that was an exciting room in there, and they should be excited. Obviously, every Cowboy fan should be excited how that defense played. And they really did some impressive things out there. Credit goes to head coach, who spent a lot of time on that side of the ball this week, along with Flus, and making adjustment. Certainly gives us a lot of hope as we look to the future as to how this defense can play as we evolve. It looks like we came out pretty clean on injury. And, of course, I cannot say enough about Dak Prescott and his play throughout the game. It really was the confidence throughout the game that he demonstrated that make you think we were there all the time. So, big win.
Jerry, what can you say about the offense with a healthy CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens? What is the ceiling for this offense right now?
Well, it gives Turp a lot of openness, doesn't it, when those two guys are out there? I'm kidding. But obviously the fact that George has been able to really establish himself in Lamb's absence, both with confidence, himself, his teammates, coaches, now that gives what he can bring to the table with Lamb, with what we're doing in our running game. I thought, I don't want to take anything away from Washington and how they can disrupt, but I thought that was one of our best offensive outings out here in several years.
With Pickens and Lamb, have you had a better wide receiver duo at any time?
Well, I don't want to take anything away. I saw Dez going down through there. Don't want to take anything away from those guys. Don't have to, all of them. But I will tell you, Lamb's ability to really make the difference on an offense. Now Pickens is got that ability as well. That along with our running game, really, I feel as good about that offense as I have in a long time around here, and I say that to all our fans. What I am excited about is that we did make and have made adjustments. We'll continue to make adjustments. We do have personnel coming that will be coming, and being a part of that defensive personnel, we got a chance to evolve into the kind of team that our fans deserve.
Jerry, you said you would go into a foxhole with Matty Eberflus earlier this week. What did you see from him this week as he adjusted, and why did you want to go into a foxhole?
Well, I will tell you that first of all, he before this, he's the kind of guy you want to be in. He exudes confidence. He exudes confidence to the players, and I was proud of the way he, as well as Bryan, worked together to come up with that game plan. obviously we have a lot of respect for Washington and what they're capable of doing. And so I think you saw maybe a little bit of an example of how to get your nose bloodied one week. That was a disappointing loss last week, and come out here and learn from it. And I think our bunch did.
All right, there it is. Jerry Jones after the Cowboys' victory 44-22 over the Commanders. I like this from the 920. Regardless of stats, you needed guys to show up, and you had that today. You hope that the warts start to fall off and new ones don't grow the rest of the way.
Yeah.
But just seeing that you still have some of that belief, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and those guys showed up ready to play. You said stand up or get the hell out of here. They stood up today in a big way, and kudos to them for that. Yeah. Jerry also mentioned in the post game there in regards to Trayvon Diggs and his concussion. He says this is not a smoking gun deal. He had an accident, and I'm good with that. We need him. We'll be a lot better team with Diggs. So, Jerry, obviously everybody's kind of recklessly speculating at this point what exactly went down with Diggs. Hopefully this week we'll get some concrete details on what exactly happened, but Jerry's kind of putting out some fires there on how that happened.
Yeah, they've, talking to people in the organization, there's a lot of folks that said, hey, I'm really not sure, and then there's others that were kind of saying that, man, there's been three different stories that, that we're kind of going through right now. So, but I think Jerry is right. I think you're going to need Diggs to play. And I think that hopefully that he, and stepping back and watching this one and watching how his teammates plays, hopefully it'll light a fire under him that, he can go out and let's see again. We mentioned it early going into this game. Schottenheimer talked about the amount of man coverage that they were going to play because it fit into how to play against Jaden Daniels. His completion percentage is under 50% dealing with man coverage, and the Cowboys played about 50% man coverage in this game today. So, that's looking at the analytics side of it and, looking at the film side of it and saying that's the best route we need to go, and hopefully they'll continue to make adjustments like that when they see fit.
Okay, back to your calls, 877-881-1053. Cowboys win 44-22 over the Commanders. Let's go to Mobile, Alabama. We got our guy Zach here.
The home of Mardi Gras.
On line one. Zach, welcome to the Cowboys postgame show, man. How you doing?
Hey, man, good to talk to y'all. Bryan, I'm really shocked you to admit that being a Louisiana guy, but yeah, home of Mardi Gras.
The home of Mardi Gras. Yeah,
but,
I'm jealous.
I've
spent a half my life in Mobile, Alabama, going to the Senior Bowl. I love your town, man. Great folk down there.
Great Waffle House out there too.
Man. Yeah. That's right. Well, I wanted to kiss your ass first, Broaddus, before I got started because never been able to meet you or speak with you. I'm always at the Senior Bowl, got a lot of Cowboys games.
Sure.
But huge fan. Any show you're on, the break, like you, Hellman, Nick Eatman, I love all y'all stuff.
Thank you, man.
So
Appreciate
I've learned
it.
so much from you.
Appreciate
So really, really love what you do. So I just wanted to start that first. But
Sure.
just really excited. Thought the defense played awesome tonight. Loved seeing a little bit more man coverage.
Yeah.
Again, Shamar James, he's a hometown kid, know him personally. Great kid, great family. I was so pumped that he got a strip sack today. I think the future's really bright for him. I just want to kind of brag on him.
Yeah.
I love our offense. I love Shotty. I was a little pissed when he first hired Shotty. I didn't know what to expect. I was really hoping for a bigger name, but definitely was wrong. I love what I'm seeing from him. The offense looks great. Dak looks so much more comfortable. But I wanted to get y'all's thoughts. I think if I was Cowboys front office tomorrow, I would go ahead and extend Williams. Maybe, 2-year contract, nothing crazy, and then get Pickens done right away. And then wanted to ask you guys, do y'all think, y'all may hear some things. I know there's tons of rumors. Do you think the Cowboys are still looking to trade?
Yes.
I know you can't mention any names.
Yes.
But, okay. Any positions you think in particular on the defense?
I think that they're very open to trying to help the middle of their defense, and I mean the middle is the defensive tackles. I think is something that they kind of have an idea, but I'm thinking about the linebacker spot. I'm thinking about the safety spot as well. They think they're probably going to get their corners back in line on that, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a defensive lineman or a linebacker being shopped around that they might be interested in.
Thanks for the call, Zach. We appreciate it, brother. Yeah, and, when it comes to the Pickens and Williams stuff, it's interesting because, man, the continuity opportunity here for this Cowboys offense moving forward, even after this season. I mean, when you think about all the guys that they have under contract, they've invested so much through the draft. When it comes to the offensive side of the ball, it's really Pickens and Williams are the two guys. Now, those are obviously cornerstone dudes for this team this season right now, and we'll see if they can bring either one or both of those guys back. But, I mean, you have an opportunity really bringing those two guys back, and you can run back the exact same offense from a personnel standpoint that you have this year, right? I mean, your offensive line, we'll see. Maybe they want to do something with Steele. If they're not super happy with him at the right tackle spot, but your offensive line, by and large, is intact. You have Ferguson re-upped, Lamb. All these guys are here. So if you can get Pickens and or Williams back, then, I mean, you can really imagine what this offense could do with a couple of seasons.
Both these guys are in the final year of their rookie contracts, right? So, that's the problem that you run into. You're looking at one player has a value of somewhere I mentioned between $30 and $35 million. You have another player that has a value right now about $10 million at running back. So that's where you got to kind of, if you're committing $40 million, say $45 million on two players, that's the question you have to ask yourself is that, how can you create more cap space? Can you, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, but I just know just looking at the values of those players. And if I'm either one of those players, this is my first opportunity to earn on a second contract. I don't think you're getting any deals from these guys myself.
Oh, I agree 100%. And
so now you have to figure out is paying $10, $11 million what you need to do for your running back, or do you go out and you trust it? Hey, nothing against Williams at all, man. He proved me really wrong.
All of us.
About that. So is there a possibility of going out and finding somebody similar? Is there a possibility of drafting somebody? We've seen these teams have success drafting third, fourth, fifth round running backs and them coming in, we at Tampa with what they've got with that running back situation. So yeah, I mean, there's different ways to do this, but you're going to have to sign both these guys. One of them's probably going to cost you $10 million. The other one's probably going to cost you about $35. So if you're okay with that, then that's where you probably need to start.
Yeah, and Pickens has the agent, David Mulugheta, who's an absolute shark. We know all about David Mulugheta, so he's probably not going to be taking any discounts there, but I would lean receiver over running back, especially if you're going to still have Clayton Adams, Connor Riley, and that continuity on the offensive line.
That's where I'm kind of at right now. I feel like that maybe you're in a situation where you've got a scheme and an offensive line and
a passing attack.
And I'm not saying you could just plug in any runner and it's going to work, because I think Williams has a specific skill set, but that's kind of the guy I would go look for.
Sure.
Now you have a little bit of a blueprint, like, okay, this back works in this kind of scheme. And so if you're again, it's going to come down to probably $8 to $10 million a year for a running back that has earned every penny that he deserves.
Okay, let's go to Tucson, Arizona, where we have Adrian online for Adrian. Welcome into the Cowboys postgame show, man.
Adrian.
Hey, what's going on, boys? How you doing?
Great, brother.
Thanks.
All right, you can hear me perfect. I just want to call in, Bryan. Love you calling out the fake fans and telling them that they're haters. Nothing bothers me more than these fans.
No, man.
Oh,
man.
I
ain't calling, no. I'm just having a discussion with the guy, man. That's all.
No, but you're right. You're
I'm not
absolutely right.
Listen, but don't be a homer guy either. No, I mean, what I'm saying.
Oh,
but you got to give this thing some balance, and but if you're kicking their ass one week, you got to be able to acknowledge,
exactly,
hey, they played pretty well this week. Now next week against Sean Payton, it could be a whole nother game that we're talking about.
Hey, and you play who's on the schedule. You play who's available. The 53 that they say can go, that's who you play. You don't worry about at the end of the year, oh, so-and-so was out, so-and-so was out, oh, you only won because of this. That doesn't matter. You don't apologize for wins in this league, and that's the bottom line. And I'm walking everywhere crotch first, baby, because how about them Cowboys? Let's go!
Yeah.
Heck yeah, Adrian, we appreciate it, man, representing Cowboys Nation all the way in Tucson, Arizona.
University of Arizona there in Tucson. Really nice place, that Tucson.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Beautiful, beautiful place.
All right, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves along the Dallas Cowboys radio network.
You're turn it on, leave it on. Home of America's team is 105.3 The Fan.
Go low, baby.
KRLD-FM and HD1, Dallas-Fort Worth.
An Odyssey sports station.
All right, line 5, Ron in Garland. Ron, welcome into the Cowboys postgame show.
How y'all doing that?
Great,
Good.
brother.
Thanks.
I just like to say, first of all, I've always been never been a Dak hater, but I've always said things, he needs to get it together, and if not, he don't deserve his contract.
Sure.
Well, I'm giving him kudos for sure because he's been playing good ball this year. Mm-hmm. He's protecting the ball. Every now and then, he'll kind of scare me, with throwing in between two defenders, but overall, he's done good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
And another thing, the 2 free agents that we picked up this year, I give them kudos for that.
Sure.
You've got George Pickens and you've got Javonte Williams that everybody gave up on. These two are dynamite.
Yeah.
And so anyway, it was a good game. I just wish they would start wrapping up on their tackles a bunch. They're still missing way too many tackles.
Thanks for the call, Ron. Appreciate it, man. Absolutely. The tackling stuff.
In the pocket, just finish better. They had some guys home. I think they could have got 3 or 4 more sacks if they would have just finished a little better. That thing could have been 6, 7, 8 sacks today with as many times as they got back there.
Mm-hmm.
So just a little bit better finish in the pocket. I'm sure the tape will show that, and we'll talk about it tomorrow at 3:40 in Krusty's Corner. I'll have that film broken down for you, but I guarantee you it's there's going to be times where they had opportunities and just couldn't get the guy to the ground.
All right, the victory party rolls on. Cowboys over the Commanders 44-22. I see Jason in Burleson, David in East Texas, Dennis in Memphis. We'll get to all your calls and texts coming up next, 877-881-1053, plus the stop of the game. Shout out to Deron Bland. All that's next. Dallas Cowboys football will continue in a moment.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what's...
going to be almost hit by Clark. Throws it away. It's intercepted. He threw up a duck. Here comes Bryan down the sideline. It's a pick six. It's a pick six. The first touch of a ball by a Cowboys cornerback this year.
Thank you, Brad Sham, for the call, and thank you, DaRon Bland, for turning back the clock and making an absolute savage, nasty pick six play to fire up Cowboys Nation and help seal a Cowboys victory. 44-22, Cowboys over the Commanders. DaRon Bland returned that interception, 68 yards for the touchdown, first pick six since he set the NFL season record in 2023 against Washington. That was the Thanksgiving game, and Bland's 6 career pick sixes are the most by any NFL player in his first 4 seasons, and the most career pick sixes in franchise history. I think that we might look back towards the end of the season on this game for DaRon Bland and feel like, okay, this is when he got back to being himself, and that is a beautiful thing because we've been missing him, some plays in the back end.
Yeah,
and he was a tackling machine today, so credit to him for that.
Maybe feeling a little healthier too,
Absolutely,
maybe,
yeah. When you get to go up against some
a little bit more confidence too.
Yes,
helps. Hey, cornerback's all about confidence. You got to be a confident players back there. You can't let everything bother you. And and they've had their struggles. They've had to play so much zone coverage, and it's been a problem. Hey, they're human. They hear everybody talking about them. But nice that they got it done today. Really did.
No question. That's your defensive play of the game. Thank you, DaRon Bland, for the pick six. And now we go into the locker room and hear from Cowboys defensive tackle Kenny Clark.
When you got an offense like this, that's a championship offense, and you don't want to let that go to waste. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. You don't want to let that go to waste. Sure. And we got to keep improving, keep stepping up, because they balling and they putting up points. And you seen today, we stopped them in the first half. For the most part, offense got up, and in the fourth quarter we got a chance to have fun and get some sacks and rush and pick sixes and all that kind of stuff. So that's complimentary football, and that's how you want to play.
Kenny, how much confidence does this build going forward that y'all can keep kind of like you said with that pattern, get up early, put guys down away early, and just kind of keep on crushing them?
Yeah, it's going to give us a lot of confidence, but at the same time, on Wednesday we got to come back in ready to work. And just had that same sense of urgency that we had this past week. We got embarrassed last week, and we wanted to make a statement and get better from last week. And I think we did that. But, we're going to celebrate it. And, when we get back to work, we got to have that same intensity and it's that same urgency that we had to get better and improve off of this win.
There it is, Kenny Clark after the Cowboys' victory, 44-22 over the Commanders. As the casino of the Dallas Cowboys, WinStar delivers thrills worthy of America's team. With over 10,000 of your favorite electronic games, the 2-story WinStar Spa and Cascades, their luxury pool complex. WinStar is a world of wow. Please game responsibly. All right, 877-881-1053, the number to call, the number to text here on your Cowboys postgame show. Let's go live to Dallas and welcome in Ryan. Ryan, welcome into the Cowboys postgame show, man.
Hey, guys, can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
All right, long-time listener, or what's the saying there? Or is it a first-time caller, long-time caller? Just wanted to touch on the, I think with the offense, the only question that we had was that running game, and it got answered for us pretty quickly. Going to the defense, the one thing we keep hearing is an identity. Today it seemed like they had some sort of identity. We're sitting 2-1 in the NFC East. Is this a winnable division? We've got Devarion Overshown coming back pretty soon. So we should get some help at the linebacker spot. But, Diggs, that might be an addition by subtraction there today from what I saw. But do we think that this team and their defense has found some sort of identity with maybe playing some man and being better off? I want to give a big shout out to the Showers back home. So, yeah.
Ryan in Dallas, we appreciate the call, man. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm still kind of wait and see in terms of defensive identity. This is just now scratching the surface with a positive performance for the first time in a long time.
God awful last week.
Yeah, I mean, really throughout the season, outside of that Eagles game, really, there has been a lot to be desired with this Cowboys defense.
They did some positive things against the Jets. They did some positive things tonight. They were god awful against Chicago. They were god awful against the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, it's a team that the coaches would probably tell you they're looking for consistency. They're trying to figure out kind of what the guy. I mean, it's. I just wonder, here we're halfway finished, and maybe you're kind of figuring a little bit out about some of your guys and who you can rely on, who you can't rely on. You're seeing guys like James improve every week, Ezra Rocco getting better every week. Those are the things you're going to have happen. Kenny Clark was not good the last 2 weeks, probably much better today with the run defense stuff. So, yeah, it's the identity is it's just massively inconsistent from week to week. And the one thing is the offense has been consistent with the exception of, I think, the Chicago game. I mentioned that one. And then you didn't run the ball worth a damn last week. But your passing game looks like it's got a lot of things to be that you can hang your hat on. And like I said earlier, I hope that Shoddy and these coaches continue with creativity to try and make sure that these receivers and these tight ends can take full advantage of that.
Okay, we have Jason in Burleson. Jason, you're on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Thanks for taking my call, guys. Broaddus, I just wanted to say that your postgame and your pregame analysis was spot on.
Thank you.
I think they executed the game plan you talked about.
Yep.
I'd recommend you for defensive coordinator one day. Why not?
Jeez. You don't want to see that, sir.
You'll see a lot of those Jonathan Gannon punching his players.
Yeah, you would see. It'd be like, yeah, it would not be good. You think Mike Nolan was bad? You wait till you see me coordinated.
How many headsets does Broaddus go through in a season if he's an NFL defensive coordinator? I put the over/under at about 1,000.
Yeah.
2 per game.
Yeah, at least. What do you got, man? What do you got?
Question for you.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of clamoring about bringing in some players. I've been on that.
Sure.
I listen to Dez. I think he's right. I think is it possible some of these ex-players are vessels for the current players to kind of clamor some noise and get the attention of the ownership to bring new players in and fix the team a little bit? But really the real question I guess I got is, let's say they go get a Hendrickson or a Crosby or, the guy, the linebacker in Baltimore, if he's not injured. I think he might have got injured a couple weeks ago. But let's say they get somebody like that. Wouldn't the time to bring him in be now? That way they can kind of get acclimated to the system Eberflus is trying to run and then make an effective presence. Because we've seen Clowney now for maybe 3 weeks. And he just kind of showed up today, I thought. He had some flashes the last couple of games, but nothing I would remember. But today I thought he was really the player that we were trying to get. So what do you think about that? That's all I was really calling about. And keep up the good work, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. In a perfect world, you go ahead, you be aggressive. We saw the Texas Rangers do it when they went and won the World Series in 2023. They had an issue at the closer position, and so Chris Young went ahead and made the move for Aroldis Chapman weeks before the trade deadline. Obviously, you need a partner in that, and so a lot of teams aren't willing to just dive into sell mode until they feel like they absolutely have to. Now, there's a handful of teams that need to be self-aware and just understand for sure.
Saints are there. Maybe the Jets are there.
Yeah.
Dolphins are there.
The Raiders should be there.
Raiders are there, yeah.
There's a handful of teams, but also you need the Cowboys to be willing to pick up the phone.
Yeah.
And they are perpetually, and they'll speak to this, they usually like to receive the calls as opposed to take the calls or make the calls. So it's a tough deal. And especially when you're talking about stud caliber players, you're talking about Max Crosby, you're talking about Trey Hendrickson. These are guys that teams really don't want to let go of until they have to. Yeah. So a move like that probably doesn't end up happening until right at the deadline, because we know deadlines make deals, right, Broaddus?
Yeah, and if you're dealing with Trey Hendrickson or somebody like that, I would surely, if I'm going to have to move, say, if they're going to probably ask for a second-round pick, they're probably going to ask for a player there. I would sure want the opportunity to maybe negotiate a contract extension before I made that trade.
If it's an expiring deal.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, one more call here. Let's go to Memphis. We have Dennis in Memphis. Dennis, you're on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Hey, guys. Appreciate y'all taking my call. First-time caller.
Dennis, can I ask you a question?
My wife.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
You a Memphis Tiger fan?
Man, all day long, but the UAB.
What the hell, man? You go to UAB and let them beat up on you like that?
What the hell? Well, we lost our starting quarterback. I mean, it's not an excuse, but, in college with the NIL, we got $1 million quarterback that got in the game, and he looked pretty good, man.
Yeah.
But he was like third string, man, and he's like getting $1 million. So
well, my LSU team went much better, bro. I just had to. I was surprised at UAB, but I was happy. Chris Mortensen's son is the head coach.
That's pretty cool.
I know more. I know more very
story.
well.
It was a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look, guys, I just want to say a couple of things real quick. Hey, first, the defense, like you guys always talk about, man, is atrocious. But think about it.
Yeah.
Like you said, if it was middle of the road, Green Bay game, we were 1st and 5, I think. We could have went in and scored on that. The Chicago game, I think all the air came out of the game. Of course, when CD got hurt, but when that ball got ripped away from Williams, I think that's kind of stymied us. And then the other game with Carolina, man, I mean, if you don't call 2 bad screen calls back-to-back, I think that game's different. So, I mean, as atrocious as the defense is, you've been in all the games, really, man. So, and the other thing, Bryan, I'm with you, man. Let's just give credit sometimes. I mean, these guys is a word that starts with B.
Yeah.
Slapped last week.
Absolutely.
And they fought back, man. They stopped Bill dead in his tracks, man. And who cares who they have missing? Nobody cried for us when we had 4 linemen missing. Nobody cried when CD went out. Nobody cried when Dak's hamstring came off his freaking bone. It's football. I mean, I hate it happens. But, we got BB missing. You got Overshawn, which I think Overshawn is going to be a star in this league. He hasn't played. The guy from Carolina that we drafted, who knows, but I think he's probably going to be a star projected to be. So, I mean, it is what it is. And the last thing I like to say, let's give Jerry some credit. He takes a lot of heat, but, hey, he hired Shotty, which looks like a brilliant move because he was already there, so you didn't have to do much to the offense. And, he went and got Pick. He went and got Pick and Williams. So, I think we're going to be all right, man. All we got to do is make it to the party. If we could just make it to the playoffs, let's see what happens.
I like the sound of that, Dennis. Thanks for the call, bro. Absolutely. Shotty's been an absolute home run hire. We criticized the process and the whole thing. But
I think the advantage that Shotty has is he sat here for 4 years and watched, maybe the mistakes that Mike McCarthy and that staff made with Dak Prescott. Maybe he went in there and said, hey, listen, if we were to think about doing it this way, I think it's where you sold Jerry and Steven on. I was waiting for a coach to come in here and sell Jerry and Steven on how do I help Dak. And he has. He's done a great job. But the pro department trading for Pickens, trading for signing Williams, drafting Booker, all these things are just been super, super positive going forward.
All right, Cowboys win 44-22. Let's put a bow on this one with the player of the game. You're listening to the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Cowboys fans, here's the game plan. Touchdown Tuesday at Take 5 Oil Change. Just wear your Cowboys gear and save 25% on your oil change. No huddle, no overtime. Just drive in, stay in your car, and roll out. You'll be tailgate ready in 10 minutes flat. Keeping up with your car shouldn't be a tough call. Take 5 makes it as easy as calling the coin toss. Take 5 is the official oil change of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit take5.com to find a location near you. Offer valid through December 31st, 2025. Terms and conditions apply. Valid only at participating locations.
The National Medal of Honor Museum is now open in Arlington, Texas, just a few blocks from AT&T Stadium. Immersive exhibits and exciting technology allow you to fly a rescue helicopter mission in Vietnam and have conversations with virtual Medal of Honor recipients. Come be inspired by these incredible stories of ordinary Americans who did the extraordinary. Get your tickets at mohmuseum.org.
Window Nation, the star of window replacement and proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys, can help you fill your house this season with savings. Right now, get 50% off all styles of windows and make no payments with no interest for 24 months. Fill your home with energy-efficient windows for a customized, authentic Dallas Cowboys jersey, and you could even help fill the Cowboys house and win tickets to a game. Call 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com/Cowboys now for details. Window Nation, proud partner of your Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys Nation, head to Miller Lite House at AT&T Stadium for a free watch party presented by 7-Eleven. Watch the Dallas Cowboys take on the Broncos in Denver on Sunday, October 26th. Doors open at 2 p.m. and kickoff is at 3:25 p.m. Enjoy a performance by the DCC, Slurpee samples, $5 Miller Lites, and more. Claim your free ticket at dallascowboys.com/watch party. That's dallascowboys.com/watch party for your free ticket.
Hi, it's Pete Thompson from the Consumer Team. Every year, the summer heat puts a real strain on your HVAC system, which means it needs a tune-up before it gets cold.
DallasCowboys.com. Keep track of the boys with daily podcasts at DallasCowboys.com and on the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Snap to Prescott. And he airs it out deep down the left side for Pickens. Over the shoulder, for crying out loud. He caught the ball. That's a perfect throw. All the way down at the 35-yard line. He beat the noisy Marshawn Lattimore for 44 yards. What a throw.
A beautiful pitch and catch from Dak to Pickens, and that is not the first time we've said that this season. George Pickens is your player of the game. 4 catches, 82 yards, and a long reception of 44. He was an absolute monster. That doesn't even include the defensive pass interference that he drew, which he's a total professional at drawing the PI right there in the end zone. It ends up being basically like a 40-something yard play, and the Cowboys get right down to the goal line, punch it in, and there we go.
They were in a little bit of a hole. First drive of the game, Dak, and we kind of like you're thinking, okay, here's another opportunity. Let's see if they can score. But what do? Launch that ball down the sidelines, and you mentioned about 30. I think it was 38 and 4 yards, something like that. But man, what a great job by him to draw that flag.
Yeah, I mean, Dak and Pickens right now, the connection is unbelievable. We know the connection with Dak and Lamb, but the passing attack is working at a high level, and defensive coordinator is going to be losing sleep at night trying to prep for this Cowboys passing attack. But the rushing attack was rocking and rolling today as well. Shout out to the Cowboys offensive line. Javonte Williams, 19 carries, a $116, and a touchdown, including a 33-yard run to set up a Ferguson touchdown right before halftime, which was the drive of the game. Let's hear from Javonte Williams in the post.
Javonte, can you talk about the game plan? Seemed like the run game back on track to help some of those offensive linemen were back there. You guys balanced it all out for a win.
Yeah, it was just good to get back on track. I feel like having a lot of the other playmakers back, it kind of balanced out the offense, and I feel like we executed well.
Can you talk about the fact that this was a big win and for the division, division?
Yeah, I mean, any win is a big win, but for it to be a division rival, we know it's going to pay off in the long run for the playoff race.
How would you describe that Commanders defense?
Yeah, a veteran group, smart, played very, very tough. But, I mean, hats off to the O-line, to the wide receivers, tight ends, everybody. I feel like everybody played well tonight.
You mentioned the wide receivers. Could you talk about the return of CeeDee Lamb and what it meant for this team?
Yeah, just a leader. I mean, he's going to make plays, and just his presence. Just having him on the field, it just brings a different energy to the huddle.
And the defense stepped up a little bit as well.
Yeah, I'm glad they played well, so people can kind of get out their back a little bit. But I mean, Shotty been saying that we was gonna have a turnover and a touchdown, so I'm glad that finally came true.
Thanks, Jay.
There it is, Javonte Williams after the Cowboys win 44-22 over the Commanders. Now 2-1 in the division, second in the NFC East, 3-1 on the season. And let's close things down with the best kicker in football, Brandon Aubrey, after the game.
Brandon Aubrey, you guys put it all together, all phases of the game. Can you talk about the complete victory today?
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to go out there and dominate a team on offense, defense, and special teams. I think we got the job done today. That's something we can use to study and take that momentum going forward and hopefully repeat that process.
Was there any point in the game where you thought, okay, this might wind up being closer than we want it to be?
I try not to think about it. I just try and pay attention to where we are with the ball in the field and be ready when my name's called.
It looked like the locker room was all thrilled after the game, headed for the next game.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you get a victory, you got to celebrate it, keep it short and quick, and make sure we put a cap on it. But it's supposed to be fun when you win, so got to celebrate it. And we'll move on to the next game as soon as we put this one to bed.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
There it is, Brandon Aubrey after the Cowboys' victory. CA's the GOAT.
CA with no kicking questions, all just about defense, offense. How do you feel about all that?
He treats Butter like a football player because he's the outlier kicker who's actually a football player.
I think he's got 6 kicks of over 60 yards or 65 yards. It's crazy.
Yeah, another 61-yarder today. Just split the pipes. Would have been good from probably 80.
Yeah. Anger just puts his knee right in the middle of that star snap kick. It's good.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
It is always good. And the postgame show has been a lot of fun today.
Yeah, thank you,
Shout
sir.
out to my guy, Zach Wolchuk, dealing
good
with the
job today.
bronchitis.
Good
He'll be
job
back
today.
and better than ever next week. But today has been a real treat. Shout out to Bobby Belt facilitating us, Des Bryant. That was special. If you missed it, you can check it out on the Love of the Star podcast. Make sure you subscribe to that. But it's been a lot of fun. Thank you to Peyton Russell. Thank you to Ross Labinski. We got Dylan, Jet, Tim, Raymond here on site with us. Of course, Gavin Spittle and Bryan Broaddus. I'm Eric Chiofalo, and the Cowboys get the victory 44-22 over the Commanders. We'll be back next week. Until then, Dallas Cowboys football will continue in a moment.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2.